Warm greetings from the high 10. Happy holidays to everybody. Thanks for joining me. This will be a double live. This is pertaining to the laundries. News Nation has done a video pertaining to the repercussions of the laundries possibly aiding their son. And if you need verification, you can go into the YouTube queue. The title is Will the Laundry Parents Be Charged as Accessories to Brian? And this has Mr. Eaton talking to two other people in the said video. The second part of this live will be pertaining to Summer Wells. I was trying to remember what I wanted to say in this live pertaining to Jody Sue coming forward with saying that she heard a scream on June 15th. The one part of that recollection, if indeed it is true, that doesn't jive well with the Queen is the obvious. If someone was screaming on that fateful day, June 15th, up on that mount, then why did we never hear any information from Candace or Grandis pertaining to the scream? And all the information that has been brought forth by Candy to the public, you never heard her say she heard someone scream or her child scream on June 15th. So you see, as I've always told you, everything you need to know is at the beginning of a story. If you never heard the mother say she heard a scream or the father say they heard a child scream, a person scream on that day in the beginning, then why now, 4 or 5 months later, we're discussing someone saying they heard a scream? That would have been the first thing that Candy would have told the news day one. I heard a scream outside. I heard someone scream. I heard my child scream. You never heard that. And that's the gist of the story. So I'm debunking that allegation in this live. Nobody heard anybody scream. Because if someone heard the child or someone screaming on that day, don't you think the mother would have relayed that to the news day one when she gave her testimony to what happened on June 15th? The first part of this live is pertaining to the laundries. Will they be charged as accessories? News Nation is the source for this information. If you need verification, you can go into the YouTube queue, and I also have this video posted to my community page. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Feel free to hit the link to give your opinion pertaining to this information pertaining to the laundries. If you think they are liable in some form or another, did they have information pertaining to their son, what he was doing out there? Did he confess to them what he did to Gabby Petito? What was their role in his demise? Did they have knowledge that he was going to kill himself? What did he tell them while being out west and when he returned home? And second part of the live, I've already debunked the issue of the scream. Candy and the husband, Mr. Don, never told the news that they heard a scream on June 15th. And if indeed a child was screaming on that property, she would have heard it. And she would have gladly ran out to see what was going on with the scream. Stay woke. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you all for joining me.
Interesting, the words that were said. They said... Field on Brian Enton in for Ashley tonight. We now know the cause of death for Brian Laundrie. It's a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was the only suspect in the killing of Gabby Petito, and any other investigation is suicide would probably be the end of it. But not this one. We now have hints that other people could possibly be charged in this case. I want to bring in Lawrence Koblinski, who is a renowned forensic scientist and expert in DNA analysis and chairman of the science department at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, and Jennifer Coffendorfer, who is a retired FBI special agent. Larry, I want to start with you on this one. With the announcement that Brian's death was a suicide, what kind of physical evidence would they need to make that determination? We know they only found literally Brian Laundrie's bones and a partial skull. How do you think they came to this conclusion?
Well, I think examination of the skull, the cranium in particular, would have revealed a fracture of the bone. And people that know a lot about gunshot understand that the type of fracture that you see in the cranium would clearly come from gunshot. We know that Brian owned a pistol. The father, Chris, owned about 10 different handguns, and one of them was actually missing when the police came around September 13th or so, September 17th, I believe, to collect evidence from the home. They did collect all of the guns. One was missing. Now, we don't know the make, the model, or the caliber, but I have a feeling the law enforcement knows very well. And it's not clear whether they found the gun at the scene where the bones were found. Metal detectors can find shell casings, bullets, and handguns. So it's just not clear whether the FBI has possession of the murder weapon or not. But you would need material like that to close the loop, to demonstrate that it was a suicide by gunshot, self-inflicted gunshot. Guns don't just walk away. It had to be there, unless, of course, somebody else murdered him, which is very, very unlikely given all of the circumstantial evidence that we already have.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, Larry, that I've been thinking about for the last 24 hours. Where is this gun? I mean, we know that this gun was missing, according to the Laundrie parents. Jennifer, what do you think? I mean, where do you think the gun is now? Did the FBI have the gun? Is it still in the swamp? What's your gut telling you?
I believe it's in an evidence control room under the custody of the FBI, or possibly in an FBI laboratory, getting tested to make sure it was an operable gun, that the firing pin was working, and that it had never been used in any other crimes. So I very much believe that it was recovered on that secondary search when they went back out, and they were out there for several days. I think that's when it was recovered. The only other possibilities are it's still there or a third party has it. And I think it's very probable the FBI has it.
Let me ask you this, Jennifer. Larry brought up the Laundrie parents, Chris and Roberta, and I thought this was so interesting yesterday when the Petito parents put out this statement saying basically that they've been told to be quiet because there is this possibility that other people could be involved and facing charges. Obviously, our minds immediately go to Chris and Roberta Laundrie. Jennifer, do you think that is a real possibility at this point, that they could end up in trouble with the law?
I do think it's a possibility. I found it very interesting, the words that were said. They said the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then they also said the prosecutors in Teton County. Now, they didn't say the FBI. Remember, the FBI is the finder of the fact. The prosecutors, the people that actually bring forth these charges in the judicial system, are the prosecutors, and that's who they named. I think the Laundries have possible culpability under 18 U.S.C. 3, which is accessory after the fact, and possibly 18 U.S.C. 1519, which is obstruction in terms of if they tampered with any evidence after that crime was committed.
Larry, what do you think? I mean, we know from the Laundries family attorney, Steve Bertolino, that they had this collection of guns that you mentioned, that they, according to him, turned them all over when Brian Laundrie initially went missing. But there was this one missing gun that we still don't know where it is. Do you think the parents could be in legal trouble?
I think they might be in trouble with respect to aiding and abetting Brian Laundrie evading detection. running away from the police. Somebody may have been helping him. Most likely the parents. It could have been somebody else that we don't even know about. But again, the likelihood is that he didn't do this alone. He may have had assistance, and whoever did help him can be penalized, can suffer legal consequences for aiding and abetting his escape.
And Jennifer, another thing I've been thinking a lot about, and I think you have too, is now that we know there was this missing gun that apparently the FBI knew about, they knew when the Laundries turned over their guns that there was one missing. And this is when Brian Laundrie was still missing. We didn't know if he was dead or alive at that point. Did the FBI, Jennifer, have some kind of obligation to almost alert the public? Because at that point, it was almost like there was a killer on the run who was armed. Do you think they should have said something?
No, Brian, I don't think they should have said something. There are a lot of facts in this case that they have, and they've kept close to the vest as well they should. It's almost impossible to run a successful investigation when you have everything out in front of the public for their knowledge. Now, I understand the concern of the public, but they were doing everything in their power to find him in that reserve, and everything in their power to find him at some points throughout other parts of the United States in the Appalachian Mountains and following all these leads. So they certainly did everything that they possibly could to keep him at the forefront of their investigation in terms of fugitive hunt for him.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see how this plays out. There's still so many questions that are left unanswered that hopefully we'll get some sort of answer to soon. Jennifer Koffendorfer and Larry Kovalinsky, thank you so much for your time and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button.
All right, everybody. That's News Nation Now. Brian was filling in for Miss Banfield. Let's chop this up before we go to our second topic. You can comment interchangeably on both topics through the live, and welcome to hit the link to give your commentary on both subjects or one subject, whichsoever. Please be respectful to the hostess and the mods in the chat. Okay. Here are my questions pertaining to what was given in this information. Tampering with evidence. What evidence would that be pertaining to the Laundries? While the son was out west, back home, what did they know? What did he tell them? Did they know that their gun was missing? How long did the FBI know of the gun missing? Did they think their son had the gun? Did they give their son the gun? Did he steal the gun? It's been said that he killed himself. Did they know that he killed himself? Did they know that he was going out there to kill himself? Did he tell them that he killed Gabby Petito and that he would kill himself because he couldn't live with what he had done? He did not want to go to prison for murdering Gabby Petito. Did the Laundries know that their son murdered Gabby Petito? And if they did know that he killed her, when did they find out? While he was out west on his journey back after killing her, during his trip back to Florida, or when he arrived? Did he ever tell the truth pertaining to Gabby Petito? It has been mentioned that he was depressed, and that came recently. I find a lot of fault with that commentary. Basically, the lawyer, he's a walkie-talkie. He doesn't know when to be quiet. Feel guilty about what? Sad about what? Grieving about what? Why would he be grieving? We didn't even know that the girl was dead. So you say he was grieving. Grieving what exactly? What was he grieving? Because as I said, when the story became national, news. We just knew that a young lady was missing. And a boyfriend had returned home in her van without her. And then once the case got crunk, we have a lawyer saying he was upset. He was this, he was that. That goes to the assumption that he did something to Gabby Petito. Because when you say that he was grieving, you're basically saying that he knew that she was dead. So 9 times out of 10, he harmed her, killed her, strangled her. She was the last one with him, last seen on video or publicly. So why would I think that it was someone else that strangled her out there in the Grand Teton? Who else could it be? And if you thought it was somebody else as a boyfriend, would you not call law enforcement to say, hey, my girlfriend is missing. I can't find her. He comes back to the state of Florida without this young lady whom is allegedly his girlfriend. And he says nothing to the public, her parents, about her, possibly law enforcement as well. They hire a lawyer. This is all signs of guilt. Why would you hire a lawyer? Your son just returned from a United States trip without the girlfriend. So I find it baffling that he came back without her, never spoke to the parents, and played the role. And then goes out to a swamp to allegedly kill himself. Okay? Some of you are bickering back and forth of what is what with the parents, what they knew, them finding the bodies spot on once they go out to help law enforcement. Yes, all that is peculiar and odd and suspicious. Very. But as they have said, water was high. They couldn't have gotten to him anyway in the beginning. But it is odd that once they got to the search area, he was discovered. Remains, rather, were discovered. Backpacks, such, so forth. What does the sister know? Does she know? Did she know at the time when he got back that he killed Gabby Petito? Did he tell her anything on that first visit home? Because remember, when he got back from out west, he and his parents went straight to the sister's house in the Mustang. So, what was said on the visit to the sister's home? Does her husband know anything pertaining to Gabby Petito's death, admission of guilt and or murder? Who all hold the secrets to the murder of Gabby Petito? Should we have found out that he was on the run with a gun? This lady here in this commentary says no. The FBI shouldn't have told us anything. Everything's up for interpretation. You're entitled to your opinion. Very wicked story. Will the Laundries be charged as accessories? Tampering with evidence. Any other knowledge thereof pertaining to the death of Gabby Petito and the aiding of their son once he returned to Florida. Does the FBI have the weapon? If not, where is the weapon if they don't have it? Will ballistics match to the murders of Schulte and Turner out west? The Caucasian female couple that were brutally murdered and sexually assaulted out west. That is my said commentary pertaining to the Laundries. My next subject matter is pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. We're now approaching a new month, which will be December, the last month of the calendar year. And we have many missing children and persons in America who have not been found. Summer Wells is still missing out of the state of Tennessee. No one is exempt from being a suspect. No one has been cleared as a suspect. Suspects plural, including her biological donors, Don and Candace Wells. A Jody Sue has come forward to say she heard a scream on June 15th. The one reason why I do not believe in this is because of common sense. I'm going to say it again. Everything you need to know is at the beginning of a story. Your truth lies at the beginning of the story. If indeed Candy heard a scream, she would have run outside to see who the hell was screaming. Come on, Queen, bring it to him. That's the end of the story. So the rest does not matter. Well, whoever heard the scream, it doesn't really matter. The point is, how could a neighbor hear it and the people who live on the property didn't hear it? Didn't mention it to the dispatch when they called, because that was never mentioned from the dispatch call that we were allowed to hear. Now, what was revealed in the actual calling from Candy to the dispatch, I do not know. But in the first call that's released to the public, there's no mentioning of a scream. There's no mentioning of a neighbor calling that they heard a scream. I never heard of such. And it was never mentioned to the news when WJHL sent a reporter out to talk to Don and Candy Wells. Yes, my neighbor said she heard a scream. Naturally, a reporter's going to ask you, well, if your neighbor heard it or whomever heard it, how is it you didn't hear it? You're on the property with 3 other children, yourself and your mother, and you did not hear a child scream and or a person scream. So that's the gist of the story. Why wasn't this mentioned in the beginning of the storyline when they talked to the news of a child or someone screaming? Why is the law enforcement not aiding this theory or allegation? Sheriff Lawson has said it is unfounded. And they also have reservations pertaining to this Tacoma truck. So you see, everything that's been mentioned by the said parties have been unfounded, because that's the gist of the story. All said information pertaining to June 15th came from the bio donors. So it would be a question mark, plural. Thank you all for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you want to donate to the channel, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Hit the link if you have any commentary you'd like to bring pertaining to the Laundries and them aiding their son, in what capacity. And this live is also debunking the allegation of a scream heard on June 15th in the disappearance of Summer Wells. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to hit the link, it's at the top of the page. Please feel free to hit it. If you want to give your commentary pertaining to the Laundries being accessories and debunking the allegation of a scream on June 15th in the disappearance of Summer Wells. Thank you. Hope all of you had a safe holiday. Amen. Please be mindful of your surroundings while out shopping. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
I haven't been up in a while, so I figured I'd come and say hi.
Okay. What's going on?
Not much, just listening to your commentary.
Okay.
On
Any thoughts on the first story?
I do. I think on the Brian one, this is just my thoughts, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have to prove that the parents knew.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be very hard to do.
Really?
Even though,
Oh?
even though we all know that they probably knew,
Mm-hmm.
but they have to have documentation or something showing that Brian told them.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Good night,
I mean,
pretty.
uh,
I was saying good night to somebody in the chat.
oh, and I just think that's going to be very hard to do because they never spoke, they never came out. The only person that may have knew was their lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then, kind of a question on that. When Brian did leave, he wasn't wanted at that time. They hadn't even found Gabby yet. So, if I'm not mistaken. And then whenever they were looking for him, the parents said where he went, which is right where they went. Whenever they started to search, so even with that aspect, they didn't really withhold information either. Correct or not correct?
I'll say that again.
Whenever Brian left the house,
Mm-hmm.
that day that he left, he wasn't wanted. Gabby wasn't found. So he wasn't really considered a suspect because there was nothing going on at that time.
But my thing is, you are watching him allegedly. So, what do you consider watching someone?
Well, supposedly they were watching that he was at home.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a warrant for his arrest at that time. He didn't have.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you say you're watching someone, what is the definition of watching someone? Because it doesn't make any sense that you're watching me, but I've made it out of the house to kill myself. So, what is the definition of watching me?
Definition, in my opinion, would be like they had somebody stationed outside that home.
Yeah.
Just like we saw on the cameras for weeks and weeks.
I also heard that they put up cameras. I believe that was the 12th or somewhere around in there. So that was early on. So none of that makes any logical sense that you're watching someone and you also put up cameras. But then you want to wait here recently to say you mixed him up with his mother when she came back with the Mustang. That's bullshit.
Right. And that was the day that she went and got the Mustang. Because of that note that was left on there.
So now ask yourself this then. If you're watching him, whether he's a suspect or not, how did he get out of there?
Exactly.
To the swamp.
Yep.
That's the most vital question. How was he how did he go undetected to get to the swamp in the first place to park the car? Or did he even drive his car? He couldn't have drove it because you allegedly was watching. See, none of it makes any sense.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I say too. But I mean, going back just to the point of the parents being held for any being responsible at all. I don't see how. Not at that moment. Now they should have reported the gun missing. If they that's just my opinions. I have a feeling they'll get out of it.
Okay.
With all those.
Any commentary pertaining to someone hearing screaming on June 15th?
Yeah, on the June 15th one, Candace did say back then that the neighbor said they heard a scream.
Okay.
And then the cops said that they found it unfounded because at that time they thought it was people just screaming for summer. And then now she came out and said no, it was way before.
But see, that makes no sense. Why would a police even assume that? I would not assume that.
They said that whenever, because Candace did a phone call or something, and she said, well, the neighbor says she heard a scream. She said, but I didn't hear it.
Right.
And then
that's why it makes no sense, because you live there.
Yeah.
So how do you live somewhere and not hear a scream?
Well, that's what she said back then. And then when Jody Sue's little thing got, really big, and she's saying that she heard the scream, then Candace says, oh, well, that was when I was in the house. I was in the house downstairs searching. Well, now you're saying that? You know what I mean? 4 or 5 months later?
Because it's bullshit. Because
Yeah.
in the beginning, if I heard somebody screaming, at some point this would have already been relayed publicly in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my neighbor said she heard it, but then that's going to still make you look peculiar because you're the homeowner. So how is it that you don't hear a scream on your own property?
Yep.
That doesn't sound right.
Nope. I've listened to that lady a few times, so I don't think she sounds right on a lot of things. But a lot of people believe her. So.
Well, you know, some people believe, you know, ponies can fly, but I know that they can't.
Exactly. But yeah, there was just too many things. There's a lot of things. You know, I've been following somewhere else since the beginning, and there's like the footprints that they found on two different of hers on two different other neighbors' properties. You don't hear much about that.
Oh,
It's
Lord.
coming up more now. But
I dare not ask.
yeah, so
Well, where are her footprints now, Rags?
there's two of her sets of footprints that the dog hit on two different neighbors' properties.
And who brought forth that information?
Oh, it's been brought forth a lot. I can find some and send it to you.
But I'm just saying, when was this revealed about the footprints, dear?
Back then, back in June and July.
Okay, so you know where I'm going with this. So why nobody on the news said they saw her footprints on somebody's property?
I understand. I understand. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Why are all these important informations like even what's his name, Dave Ryder talked about it from the East Church. Why isn't it? And it was like, why didn't that get a little bit more drawn out? I don't know if they're trying to keep it hush hush for the investigation or what.
Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the same thing what was said about people trafficking drugs, children screaming, Pookie screaming, unfounded.
Yeah. Yeah, the neighbor on that subject, the neighbor that one of the footprints was hit on, they came and asked him about his kids, what size shoes they wear, and he said the dogs were barking like crazy. And I asked the guy, "Does that mean that they could smell her there?" And they said, "Yeah." He said, "So she was sent here," and the police officer said, "Yes." The dog hit her.
Well, how far is this place allegedly?
I know that answer, but I cannot remember right now. I was trying to remember if I even brought it up. I want to say 200 yards, but I could be completely wrong on that.
Mm-hmm. So now the new gist is she left the property and walked to somebody's house.
Well, they said the funny part of that is because I was watching somebody that's going back to the beginning when they were talking about that too. They said there's no footprints. It's like somebody carried her and then set her down, and then carried her and set her down again. Her scent was only hit, we'll say 200 yards and then 400 yards.
So who was saying that her scent was see, this is where I had a problem.
I know.
First, it was the end of the drive with the dog trail. So now you're talking about a whole other person's property.
Yep. My point of that was it's all crazy stuff. Let's scream. Here's footprints.
Okay, just saying something about they know for sure about food prints. Yep. I can't remember if TBI released the food print. What the hell are y'all talking about?
Footprints.
Lord have mercy. Don't you think they would release that to the public? Her scent was found on somebody else's property.
I would thought so because, like, whenever I heard him talking about it that night,
because anybody with sense knows they would search other people's property close by.
After I heard, I'm sorry.
No, he was saying he was trying to say he meant foot justice.
Yeah, foot.
Oh Lord,
I can't see the chat, so I didn't know what was going on. Whenever I heard Dave Ryder talk about it, I thought it was going to become pretty big, but then it was just kind of hushed after that. I was asking people about it. And it was crazy.
Denise says, I must not be woke. Never heard this before. Denise, it's always something new when it comes to Summer Wells. Pookie, Ray, Shamiqua went over there with a basket of French fries. It's always something. It's always something. Every waking day.
That one I can find, like, because I was just listening to it. I can find it and send it to you, but
hey, Smokey.
Every day.
New van, old van. Hell, maybe Gabby Petito's van was over there. I don't know. You know, they drove out west and went by their house. Brian Laundrie drove the van to Hollerville. Oh, man. Come on now. Because he was in North Carolina allegedly. He was over here allegedly. Then we found out he was dead.
Allegedly.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. Lord have mercy. There are no words.
I've never followed crime until Summer Wells. It is crazy. If you guys have been doing this for years, I would go nuts.
Well, I've been watching true crime for many years, you know, before having a YouTube channel. And I just go by my discerning spirit. And my spirit tells me everything you need to know is between the parents and the grandmama. And that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
I don't need all this other hocus pocus stuff.
I feel 100% Candace knows exactly. So.
Yeah, Smokey. That was a rumor. Pretty sad. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary pertaining to the Laundries being accessories. What do they know? Did they aid their son once he returned back to Florida? Did they give him a gun? Did they know he's going to kill himself? What does the sister know? What does the FBI have as far as a weapon? Did they find a weapon? If not, where is the weapon? Is it in that marsh out there?
And that's another thing. I mean, if he did shoot himself, they found his dry bag and a few other items. Wouldn't it be right there?
What?
The gun? Somewhere within.
Well, yeah, that's what we're saying. They're not revealing what they have, if they have the gun or not.
I know they did reveal that one gun that they found that was on a string whenever they found his stuff, but that's the only gun I remember hearing and seeing a picture of. But the other thing, nobody else has came up right. Okay. The other thing that you mentioned too, the whole, is he connected with the two girls?
Yeah, Schulte and Turner. Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered that.
Well, if they've got ballistics, then we will see if that police department out west will summons those findings.
There was way too many coincidences with them being around.
6 degrees of separation. So I look at it.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I know we went over that one night for about an hour.
Because you're not talking about Florida or New York. You were here, you bumped into, if you was in New York, you bumped into somebody from Florida, or you was in Florida, you bumped into somebody from New York. You're all the way out on the same street where one woman worked and now she's dead. And the girl that you were arguing with, she's now dead. You're the common denominator of the storyline.
And there hasn't been anybody died since. And there hasn't been anybody died for, what they say, 15 years?
Well,
before that?
I'm just doing mathematics.
Yeah.
What are the odds? Very brutal. What was done to them. And he may not have done it, but you have to admit it would be strange for two women to end up dead, and then Gabby Petito also dead out there. So then you're talking about more than one killer lurking around. So that's even more horrific than one killer lurking around. Because that's another thing that we need to acknowledge If Brian Laundrie is not the culprit of those two women, then that means we are talking about another person or persons that murdered that couple. So that's
Right.
even worse. Who is this man who was hanging around the campsite? I would have never stayed there, quite frankly. The first time you gave me googly eyes, it's a wrap. Pack up and let's keep it moving.
Yeah. So they said that
I'm not
some
gonna
witness
sit around
guy.
here.
Yeah.
You're out in the middle of nowhere, so that's foolish to sit around.
Especially when you live in the van life, you could have just went out of that town, away from the googly eye guy.
Yes. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting ready to sleep out in the open. I brought commentary the other day that said there was a tent that shows that, it had been a winded stay there. So you think I'm going to lie in a tent outside with you gawking around and acting peculiar? Hell no, I'm not. I'm not getting ready to sit in the car, lay in the car, lay on the ground, lay in a van. Not now, not never.
Did you watch the video of the lady that went out there and found them?
I think so, on News Nation.
Did you? So when she was talking, they showed a map of how far out they were.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that they would seen somebody coming, or it was more open spot. They could have been more towards other people or something. They were out there by themselves.
But that's my point. You're in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Somebody's acting peculiar. Why are you staying there? Allegedly, they were with their friends the night before. Why in the hell would you go back out there? It just makes no logical sense to go back out there. I wouldn't have gone. I'd have moved my campsite somewhere else. That's the thing about camping. You don't have to stay in the same place.
Yep.
Unless you're on a ground that's privately owned and you're paying a fee to camp, your van, RV, or something like that. Very strange. Very, very strange. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the Laundries being accessories. Will they be charged? What do they know? Do they know that Brian Laundrie killed Gabby Petito? When did he tell him, if he did? While he was out west, or when he returned home? What does his sister know? What does her husband know? Hell, what does the lawyer know? Who's going to be the one to tell it? Will charges be brought forth? Florida has strict laws saying they can't be charged, but you have to remember the murder charge is coming out of another state. And in the case of Summer Wells, I'm debunking the theory of a scream. I say no. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead. Huh?
And the police say no. One of the police that spoke on the news was talking about it, and he says that he believes that it was not founded, and he believes it was just her hearing them screaming for Summer.
Mm-hmm.
And they know, that's you and them both saying no.
But wouldn't she know the timeline of when a child went missing versus, okay, I heard the scream at this time, and then this woman says, well, my child went missing at this time. Then that's when that lady could say, oh, well, I thought I heard the scream at this time.
Well, I wrote down the timeline, and nobody's timelines are right. Like, her timeline of hearing that scream was like 5:30, and then Candace supposedly
5 what? 5 what?
Like 5:30. And then Candace said that she called the police at 6:30, which there's supposedly records of. And then Don and her spoke, or Don called the police too, and then they spoke all the way home. And he said he called at 5:30, which we all know Don's time was wrong, which they have records that was 6:30. But then Robin says that Candace was calling her, and they finally she talked to her at 7. So how was she on the phone with Don all the way home, but yet calling Robin? I mean, none of their timelines all add up to anything.
Denise says lies will never follow a timeline.
Yeah. Because, like, Robin had proof on her phone that she remember Robin was at her kids' thing, taking pictures, and Candace kept calling her and calling her and calling her, and then David Dodson called her and told her about Summer, and Candace interrupted their call. So she answered the call, and that was at 7 o'clock. But supposedly at 7, she was on the phone with Dawn all the way home. They didn't lose reception, and that never happens. But yet she's calling Robin. So none of their times match up.
Ooh. Wow.
I wouldn't want to be a cop, that's for sure. I just can't wait. Since you followed this for years.
Not with none of these people we're discussing. Each case is different, miles away, but hell no, I wouldn't want to be detective by it.
Since you've been following these for years, did they ever come out with the time, like the digital timeline? Do they ever show you the pings and
To what?
to their phones? Like, you know how we've been waiting.
I haven't heard anything. They're still working on that.
No. I mean, like in old cases. Like I've never followed true crime before. So is that something?
Yeah, that's how a lot of crimes have been solved with digital, DNA. Of course, eyewitness, video cams.
So eventually,
time stamps at a store when a person was shopping, buying things to help get rid of a body.
So eventually, maybe a year or two from now, we will get those answers.
Well, hopefully not a whole year. Jesus Christ.
I don't know how long it takes. The only one I've seen besides was and Watson, like it took about a year. They got him. So.
That's a very troublesome story.
Yeah. It just actually, I was watching Summer Wells one, and it came up next, and it was running, and I didn't have time. And I was busy, so I had to listen to it to get my hands to shut it off, and I heard it, and then I got intrigued in it. But yeah, it seemed like it took like a year for them to get everything, because there's got to be videos with her, because they supposedly went to the grocery store. Video.
And I'm sure they've gone to all those said stores that she mentioned she went to.
Yeah.
And they probably also went to neighboring stores. And just in case somebody didn't have a video camera, which is odd in this day and time for a store, not to have live cameras working. And that's probably what's going to be the gist of that story is her accounts versus video surveillance.
I think like all Sonics do. Like in their drive-thru.
Say what?
The Sonics drive-thru. I think they all have little video cameras on them, so that would be one for sure.
Oh, somebody said they want to know what all she bought. Nothing.
Cheese and milk, according to her, and it took all three boys to get it in the house.
Well, maybe she already had a lot of groceries. She ran out of milk. Because, children drink a lot of milk. They eat a lot of cereal. So I could see a parent going through a lot of milk. She had a lot of children. 4 children. It's just wicked.
I think with that one, because they said the timeline on her when she took that picture was 3:30. And the more timeline that they lean on is 6:30 and on. But it's like, what happened between 3:30 and 6:30? We still ain't got any of that.
The disposal of the child, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think she knocked her off after she left Allie's, dropped her off.
That's my opinion, too.
So you're talking about at least 3+ hours or more. Because if she left her house around 2:45, 2:30, 2:45, that was her exit plan to get rid of the child. So she had time to go home and think of everything she wanted to say and make the phone call. Hours later. Very sad. We're going out of November. Excuse me, huh?
There's so many.
I can't hear you, honey.
Yeah, it's me. Hold on.
You want to give your opinion pertaining to the Laundries and Summer Wells and the alleged scream on that day, please hit the link. Thank you for joining me.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. There's so many things. Like, I set up nights for the first month. I didn't sleep at all. And like that night,
Well, she done fell off. Just when she's about to tell us a story. Oh my goodness. Mercy me. Mods, if you all don't mind dropping the link so the others can in the chat can see the link, hit the link. Those coming in viewing, thank you all so much for joining me. Got 112 viewing.
you want me to drop down so somebody come up?
No,
Oh.
I just need somebody to drop the link. Keep the link dropped. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
I was just saying there's so many things about that night. Like, supposedly she's searching and searching, but she posts on Facebook 2 pictures, changes her profile picture, all at like 6:15 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the picture of Summer, who looks very gauntlet in that photograph of her standing in the kitchen. Allegedly, that picture was posted, I think, at 6:09.
Yes.
Something around there. So that's not how she would look, because allegedly her hair was shaved short.
And she posted one of the boys, and then off to the right a little bit, you see Summer.
Yes.
In a purple dress. Yeah.
Right. So are those older photographs?
I think they are, because there was. I wish I could get to it. That's what I was trying to do when I.
If she has hair, if she has hair in the video, in the photos, we know it's old, because if allegedly she had short hair at the time of disappearing, any photograph or video of her with hair, then that's not accurate. That's why the TBI said we had to update the photographs, from that picture of her with the red dress on and the little bob. That's not how she actually looked, allegedly, when she went missing.
And one of them, I think, had like the trees were dead. So, and this was June, so the trees would have been sprouting, not dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it proves that they were older. But it also proves that she was on her phone scrolling through Facebook and posting pictures when she's supposed to have been supposedly searching for this child.
Mm-hmm. And don't got no Wi-Fi. Stay woke.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people. See, a lot of people don't really listen to commentary by parents, friends of people when they go missing. So you always listen to what's been said in the beginning, because that's where your truth lies. Your truth doesn't lie at the end of the story. It doesn't lie at the middle of the story. The truth is at the beginning, when a person speaks of what allegedly happened. And that's where you'll find all your discrepancies, is at the beginning of the story. Because if I'm lying to you, at some point, I'm going to falter from what I've told you, and I'm going to deviate from what I've told you initially, unless I am a grand psychopath that I can recount the lie verbatim every damn time.
And that's like we were talking about that one night, how like they were saying they passed the polygraph, but like we were saying, if you believe the story that you're telling, even if it's a lie,
that's true.
Yeah,
right. And that's the make of a psychopath, a sociopath. They believe the lies, because I believe these people have lied most of their life. So them lying is no big deal. So if I'm a liar, chronic liar, pathological liar, it would take nothing for me to lie. So that way, when I do lie, my heart rate doesn't fluctuate. Hey, we're going to do Hannibal Lecter. It only gets above a certain gauge when I spin the web. When I bite your damn tongue out your throat. See where I'm going?
Yep.
I don't flinch. I don't sweat.
And she
palpitate. Go ahead.
I just thought of something, and I'm sorry. And she's proven that she's a grand Oscar-winning liar with her phone call.
Yes, that incident with Mary put everything into perspective pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. If you could spin a web pertaining to your husband and your child is missing, your other kids are in the state's care, this is the only damn thing you got better to do with your time but to sit around and get fucking drunk and call people on the phone playing mind games, hell yeah, you got your kid missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
That was, I mean, I've listened to that call over and over.
They told on themselves who they really are.
Exactly.
What decent person would go around playing on a cell phone talking about the TBI got them, FBI got them? Who does that? And your child is missing. This is what you do in your spare time. You're not out there looking for your child. You're not out there rallying for your child. You're not there handing out flyers for your child. You're not there doing anything pertaining to your missing kid to even prove to us that you have anything to do with your missing kid. But you got time to go play on somebody's phone line who allegedly brought forth allegations against Donald Wells. You call that same person to say, oh, the FBI got him. And man, I'm telling you, these two, somebody need to go to the Wiz, get these two a brain.
And I mean, we ain't even going to touch on the lives that he's
and a heart, because they're both heartless.
Oh, yeah. Those last 3 lives I watched with him, it's like, oh my God, I'm done. He is just something else.
I don't know why y'all watch this stuff. Why watch it?
Because, I mean, I've been in this thing since the day one.
Okay, but I'm saying, you see the lies. So what is it that you're going to watch that he's going to tell you different? I don't understand. Just explain it to me. Like
the one live where he was drunk and talking, he told on himself about talking to the boys and how to drag them to the side and talking about their sister. Well, right there proves that he's still pounding in their head. That's the kind of stuff I listen for.
So ask yourself this. Where's the adult that's supposed to be supervising the conversation? Stay woke. Or where are they?
I don't know. I don't know how supervised visit works. If they meet somewhere, if he goes to the house that they're staying at, or what.
I'm telling you, I don't believe a word of what you just repeated. You don't have no inkling that they ever meet with their kids. See, this is why I keep telling everybody.
No.
Everything you're hearing is coming from them, not DHS or the police or the FBI, TBI. They can tell you anything. They said this. They said this. Well, bring me a damn receipt. Because these are the same people who brought you the story that the child went missing. So why am I going to believe anything pertaining to DHS, the visits? They said this. You don't know nothing. We don't have one proof that they're actually able to see their damn children. You don't even know if they really are able or was supposed to be remodeling their house to get their kids back. Just somebody put up a rail. That don't mean nothing to me. Show me a piece of paper that says, this is what you got to do right here, right here, right here. Get your kids back. That's just how I look at it. Denise is sick. To my, where's grandpa? I mean, Grandis.
I mean, what you're saying is true because, like, on that live, he was saying that they talk to him once a week, and then supposedly it leaked out that they've only talked to them once since they've been gone.
That's what I'm saying. Why would I believe the state would let these people have access to their children? Because in the end, you don't know what's on the documents that got the kids taken in the first place.
Exactly.
You don't have no idea. I'm not listening to that shit about what some lady leaked out on YouTube, pieces of paper. That don't mean nothing. They've got apps to show you how to make up stuff, fake documents. Let me hear from the state why you took the kids, if they're allowed to see the kids, when they're visiting the kids. I want to hear from a social worker or a supervisor, because all social workers have a supervisor. Let me hear from the supervisor.
But back to your question of why I watch it. Like the night that he took a crap on live or whatever the heck he did, that was totally worth watching. So that's why I watch it, to see what he's going to do this time. That was horrible.
But that's why he does it. Ain't you to figure it out? That's why he does those. That's why he does the lives.
To get attention.
To get attention. So once again, your child is missing and your other 3 children are in the state's care. And the only thing you have to do in your spare time is to go live on your channel and or social media apps, platforms. The time you spend on live, you could be working a job. You could be fixing up your house. You could be cleaning your house. You could be asleep. You could be reading a book. See where I'm going?
Yeah.
This is all you have going for yourself. So that shows me you didn't have anything going on when your children were in your possession. Yes. Who done it? Don just likes to jerk people around. Amen.
And that whole thing with the Dr. Phil, oh, I was so upset with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people that don't know the case, they're going to look at them thinking they look like that. For one, they don't. Mm-hmm. That is not what Summer's room looked like at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's the whole point of why I said if you follow the content, you'll know the truth pertaining to the Wells and their disposition. But a newcomer coming in watching the case, they don't know these people. They're just tuning into a TV show. They don't really know what the hell's going on. Yes, days. It's pointless. It is. Anything pertaining to them is pointless to watch because you're never going to get to the truth of June 15th. Not now, not never. The only way you'll get to the truth is if one of them is separated from the other, they get scared, and then they'll possibly talk.
Well, that's why I was asking about the digital footprints that they had, because that alone by itself should be able to tell where they were at all times pretty well.
Yes, but maybe they do have something back and they just don't want to reveal it yet because they're still, I don't know, doing other things. TBI and FBI.
Because I feel like you do. I think she did something to that child between 3:30 and 5.
Oh, yeah, she did something to her.
Actually, before 3:30, because I'm one of those.
I think what she did was she dumped the baby, and then she went home and laid out the course of events that led up to 6:30.
Yep.
She had to get, let me do this, let me do this, let me say this, let me, she had to get pumped up on everything she's going to say to the dispatcher, all that other type of crazy nonsense. She had to have time to concoct a story, make it sound good, repeat it, stand in the mirror. People do it all the time.
I bet you she would set those boys down. I'm going to say, this is what happened.
Yeah. Very reason why she went to H next day. Yep. Let me holler at you.
Yep.
But she should have known better than to do that. Because he sure sold her under the bus, him and his mama.
Oh, yeah. But his mama is just as guilty because...
Oh, yeah.
Like we said before, if she's such a horrible person that she means her out to be, why do you let your boy go? I mean, your story.
And that's the point. Somebody was in the chat the other day when I was on Crime Lines and Lies.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the chat was saying, don't blame everybody else for what happened this summer. Well, if you're an eyewitness to a crime such as beating a child, abusing a child, come again.
Yep.
You're the one that put the rumor out she locked the little girl in the basement. So what we have to ask ourselves is, at what point did you notify law enforcement and or DHS of the child being locked in the basement? Did you keep hanging with her day 5, day 8? After realizing the child was locked in the basement, did you say something to Candy? Hey, Candy, why are you locking your baby in the basement? That's wrong. Hey, I'm going to call DHS if you don't stop, blah, blah, blah. How long did she keep hanging with her after she realized that the little girl was being locked in the basement and any other things she saw that wasn't proper dough with she, Don, and the kids? See, it's a bunch of bullshit because we can look at big girl Allie and 9 times out of 10, she don't keep a clean house. She ain't clean. I've seen pictures of her with stains on her shirt and all that. She don't give a damn about her own big ass. I don't hear nothing about Allie. Allie's full of shit.
That's what I was saying. Her story, anything about Allie is just gone.
She's just a sumo whale.
Yep.
Slumbering in her own sloth. She's a pig to me. Yeah, I said it.
Yep.
because there's no telling how long she was hanging with Candy. They got pictures of them, all of them standing around looking like men, camped out in front of rocks and shit with running water. I was looking at the pictures like, what the hell is this? Everybody's in the picture. That's a female. They got vaginas and they look like guys. Keep trying to tell everybody, stay woke. These people have been spinning a story of who they are in their own photographs. Their own photographs. Their photographs are hideous. I would burn Facebook. Big girl Allie, Candace, do yourself a favor. Take down your Facebook accounts. Please. Just take them down. Take them down. So when I was looking at those pictures, and I kept saying to myself in the beginning when I was looking at the photographs, I was like, what am I missing? These women look like men. And I knew there was a reason for me to study a picture. There's something in the photograph was telling me a story. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I told myself months ago when I started going to social media, looking at the photographs and looking at people's channels with the photographs, I told myself there's something missing. Big Ange, come on. What is it? Now I know what it is. I won't doubt, like I said in my live the other night, Candy and Big Girl Allie been messing around.
Oh, yeah.
That's where all that Jose shit comes in. He's staying there. He looking at Candy. He's into, men himself. And then they looking like men. Stay woke. The hell, they probably putting strap-ons on. Excuse my language. I won't doubt it.
No.
Gay, bisexual, whatever he's into. They're masculine-looking women. They're all swapping partners. I won't doubt that they all have had a menage a trois, whatever. I'm telling you, there's something very kinky, funky with that group.
Yep. I thought that from the beginning, too.
Yeah. How you doing, SpaghettiOs? Yeah, it's something funky with them. Because what you have to ask yourself, why was Allie at her house spending the night? Did she not have a place, or she was just hanging out spending the night? Which is it? You bring Jose there. Why? Did you not have your own place to live? Because you got to think about all of those things. Why is she there with a guy? Were you all just hanging out, or were you actually sleeping, slumbering there? Then there's the rumor of all these people coming from New York, which that makes no sense because we know their house can't house all those people. So what's the truth to that? I think Allie hooked up with this guy, which is even more baffling because he's friends with her baby daddy. So then I have to ask myself, if this guy is bisexual, well, is her baby daddy bisexual? So you have to ask all those questions, and it's not to throw shade to him, but it's peculiar. Did you know you brought a gay guy down here to Tennessee with you? How is it that you came down here for whatever reason? 9 times out of 10 to see your damn son, you're bringing a homosexual man down here with you. He's sitting up here fucking your baby mama.
Yeah.
Help me understand. How is your friend screwing your baby mama? And then your baby mama looks like a dude. Your homeboy is bisexual. Hey, somebody get me a Mountain Dew because I'm drowning up here.
Some Jerry Springer shit.
Oh, Jerry Springer times 20. Full
Yep.
blown. All this sounds ridiculous. Everybody in the story looks like a guy. You have to admit there's something wrong. What odds do you have? Grandma looks like a guy. Her daughter is transformed into a guy. Her ex-friend, Allie, looks like a guy. She brings in some Hispanic guy who likes guys and girls. Then we got rumors that Candy messed with him. She denies it. Then she goes on a Chris Madonna show and disrespects him by saying he likes chicks with D-I-C-K, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then these kids are all raised in this environment.
Around that.
Yeah.
So you don't know what those kids saw in that house with these fucking buffoons.
And when you're raised with it, you think this is the way life is.
And that's right. So I see two women kissing. I think it's okay for two gals to kiss. Hell, I'm a boy. I'll go kiss a boy. Mommy does it. Daddy does it. See, and people don't think about that with children.
And, this ain't the first lies that they've come out with. So they were raised up with lies. And then we're asking these little, this little boy, what happened that day?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could have seen the whole thing, but he's learned, through his whole life how to lie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't think she ever made it back to the house, quite frankly. I just believe Candace went back with grandma without a kid and made up a story about a 5-year-old girl going missing.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Do you believe the one story where they took grandma home and she laid down to take a nap? Or do you think grandma was involved with the disappearance?
Do I think what?
Did you believe the story where it was said that they took grandma home and she went and laid down and took a nap? Or do you believe that grandma was involved with the disappearance of Summer?
Well, if grandma had to be involved, because if she dumped her off after the H's house, grandma was in the car.
Yeah. Well,
unless something happened at the property after they all got back, and then she took Summer somewhere and dumped her after they all got back to the chateau.
Well, some people were saying grandma sent on a message or whatever saying that they brought her home and she went to bed. So I didn't know where you lied with it. I think grandma was involved too. I was just kind of asking.
Now, say what about grandmama going to bed?
Yeah, you know how all those messages were going out that grandma was supposedly talking to somebody on YouTube?
Or Messenger?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Said that she went home and she was hurting so bad she went home and went to bed.
Mm-hmm. So you couldn't have went to bed. And you went to bed after you got your knee fixed by Candace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly, according to grandma's story, is they came home, and which would have been like 3:30, 3:40ish. When they got home, the boys they separated the food. They took the food over to grandma's. Grandma fixed her knee patch or whatever.
Hey, Michelle.
Summer went in, got a piece of candy, and then grandma went in to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So according to grandma's story, she went to bed, so she don't know what happened after that moment.
So she went straight in and didn't ask the little girl to help with the flowers.
Right. Well, no, I think the flowers was in her storyline too. Her storyline was she came home, they separated the groceries,
Mm-hmm.
they did the flower thing. Candace helped her with her leg.
Mm-hmm.
Summer came in, got a piece of candy, and then grandma went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So from there on out, she wasn't involved in anything. Which if they got home at 3:30, all that was done by 4:30. So that still leaves 4:30 to 6:30.
Well, somebody in the thing is saying Grandis said she was taken home and CW left again around 3:30ish. Does that ring a bell to you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the
Candy,
timeline.
So Candy took the baby out the house or left the house with the child. 3:30.
Yeah, by herself. That's why they're trying to say that wasn't grandma talking in that video. Mm-hmm. They think it was Hunter or Allie.
What you mean? Talking to what video?
Remember the video whenever she was supposed to be taking a picture of Summer in the back seat, but she accidentally took the video.
Yeah.
And she asked if her hand was up, and the person that says no, they said it doesn't sound like grandma.
I got you. So then who was it then?
They think it's either, everybody was saying Hunter at the very beginning, but a lot of people are saying it's either Hunter or Allie now.
I doubt that it's Allie. So if you're gonna put H there in the seat instead of Grandis, then that means why did he throw her under the bus to talk to Chris Madonna?
I don't know.
She's your friend. She's friends with your mom, or was friends with your mom. You know that anything you say could hurt or harm her. Her child's missing. So why did you agree to talk to Chris Madonna? I think that's very interesting.
Yep.
Somebody saying it sounded like H in the back seat with the milk jugs.
Well, and it's kind of hard because it was just a no. I mean, if you haven't talked in a while and you say no
Like the
sometimes,
SpaghettiOs. Go ahead, honey.
I'm just saying, if you haven't talked for a little bit and you speak, you know how your voice cracks. The word was only no. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'd have to have a voice analyst specialist to figure out. It wasn't nothing more than no. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say listening to grandma talk on those old videos from her daughter missing, it didn't sound like her. She has more of a raspy voice, but again, it was just no. So,
Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Well, is she back?
I heard by Don on one of his guys that she was back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard somebody else say that she was back for a few days and she left again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hell, you stay gone. Why come back?
because she comes back every year in October.
That's there. But look where you're getting that version from.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just wondering why they said she's back. Supposedly she comes back in October. She stays there for a little bit, then she goes to her other grandkids. We know she was there whenever he got arrested last October.
Uh-huh. Let me listen to something Garnet Rogers is saying. Believe that Candace slipped Granny's prescriptions in her slushy from Sonic. That's why she was passed out on the milk, didn't wake up. Okay, well, Garnet, why would she give a child drugs? For what purpose? For what purpose? To kill her deliberately? What? Well, what would be the purpose? Hit the link. If you got something you all want to say, hit the link.
Yeah, I seen a thing on that too where supposedly she picked it up and Grandis screaming at her not to drink it, but yet it was still laying beside her. So if it did have her prescriptions in it, why would they leave it there?
First of all, why would I give you my prescription to give your child? To put in a slushy, soda pop, makes no sense. Why would I give you my drugs? I just went to the hospital for my knee. I'm going to give you dope to kill your kid? Come on, y'all.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. But I'm one of those people that has examined that photo to the T, and I believe it is blood on the front of her jacket. Her right ear up against the milk is black as can be. It's not a shadow. I think something's wrong with that child in that picture.
So you don't think that's wet clothes underneath the jacket and pants?
No, I think it's blood. That's my opinion.
So what happened to her?
I think there was an accident of some kind. Either she beat her or
Yeah, I was going to say that's the only way you can get blood is if she was beat to death. And I would hate to hear that there's evidence she beat that child to death. Lord have mercy, Jesus. So if she beat her to death, then that means there's a witness to her beating the child, considering she had the grandmother and H in tow.
Yep. Some people believe that she got hit by a car, but I think the police would have found evidence of that.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't think that would have happened at all.
All the cameras around, somebody gets hit by a car, you think somebody wouldn't tell that?
Exactly. Well, there's no cameras up there. They say that people's theories are that she brought H back with them, and H was driving the car and hit Summer. But there would be blood on the car. There'd be evidence on the car.
But hit her where?
In their yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, yeah, it didn't make any sense.
I don't understand where people get this stuff from.
I don't know.
These people don't tell you the truth. So how would you come up with that? I don't understand how you come up with that.
It's just probably, again, it was one of those that people clicked onto and said a lot, but there was no receipt behind it. I mean, if that happened, there would be blood on some vehicle. So, I mean, that's just knocked out. I'm sure the cops looked at all of that. The dogs would have hit on that. So that's not even a possibility in my mind.
Well, there's people here saying far-fetched theory. I don't think they'll ever solve the case. Does anything about the way they live make any sense? Renee saying blood under the seatbelt and it dies look like blood because of seeping ring. It looks like Summer was in the third stage of rigor mortis. And then Rick says Hunter would roll on them. He's a kid and would talk under pressure.
I don't know if they took Hunter in by himself. Only thing I've ever seen about him was just that with his mommy right there with him.
Well, I wonder how he's doing now. He's still with that crazy ass mama.
I don't know. I heard that he didn't go up because there's supposedly those bikers were supposed to take him up there with his dad, but I heard that didn't happen.
Why not?
I did hear that lady that was friends with Allie that was talking on the CW or whatever, CM's interview. They're not friends no more.
What woman?
Oh, the one that was talking about how she hated Candace because that day at the birthday party, Candace made the kids get out and lay in hot concrete. She had a lot of things to say about Candace. And the Allie's alibi that night, because supposedly they were at a baseball field together. That lady. Because somebody was trying to get interviewed yesterday.
I never saw that. Interesting.
It's on what's his name? CM's video.
Okay. Well, Tater Tot says, I don't think they ever solved this case. You believe that?
I don't. Until the digital stuff comes back, I think it's still we're waiting for that. That's my opinion. I don't know. Again, this is the first true crime I've ever watched, and I would figure they figured out by now.
Well, you know, we're coming out of this month. We only have 1 month left for the whole year. And those boys in Cal City are still missing, or no new news about them. So you see where I'm going with this case.
Yep.
It'll be December here shortly. And I'd hate to look up. I'm making another video on December 15th pertaining to her. And then 6 days later, I'm talking about 2 little black boys still missing out of California.
Yeah. I've never seen so many missing people, but it could be just because I started watching it.
Somebody says H has been removed from the home. Rex, bring me a source.
Yeah, I'd like to read on that one.
Ms. Broomer, would you like to come up, give your commentary? I've dropped the link. You all are welcome to hit the link to bring me your commentary pertaining to the Laundries being accessories. What do they know about Gabby Petito? What do they know about their son killing himself? And the second part of this live is pertaining to Jody Sue saying she heard a scream on June 15th. I am debunking that theory in this live because the truth lies with the family. They live on that mound. They would hear the scream before Jody Sue would. Wouldn't you call police once you run out? You'd see who's screaming. So that means that somebody was kidnapping the child. Let's go there. The obvious. My child's screaming. Somebody's screaming. I run out. That wouldn't I see the suspect or whomever? I tell you, I'll stay woke. I got to step away. Go ahead, Denise.
Okay, now that I'm woke.
Gee, did it take an hour for you to wake up after this conversation, man?
I was half.
Jojo dancing, somebody calling you. You better wake your ass up and come on in this live. Excuse my language. I ain't been feeling too good. Oh, honey, I've been coughing and hacking and sneezing and I'm sick of this weather, honey. I need to be somewhere where it's warm. I can't do no cold weather. I just can't do it.
I know. I can't stand it either.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me get out of my grandest voice.
Okay. Get your who?
Get out of my grandest voice.
You make my chest hurt when I laugh. Candy.
Okay.
Candy. Wait a minute. God rest that boy's soul, but from that movie, oh Lord, but when he says that to about candy. Anybody know where I can find candy cane? Hell yeah, in the holler. That's what the hell you can find.
Yeah, that's where she at.
Go ahead, Denise. Take it from here, baby.
Okay, so as far as the Petito case, I think that they know that the parents know more than what they do. That's why they hired a lawyer. I think they know. I think it just hasn't come out yet. But they're just trying to link the pieces together, because my thing is this: if he shot himself, like you said, they may have the gun, but from what I understand and reading stuff, I take it for what it is sometimes, but they were saying that the way that the skull was shattered looked like someone may have committed suicide. Okay. So let's say he did commit suicide. They knew where he was going. They, if he was going, like I said a while ago, they didn't just go say, "Oh, see you later, son. Take care of yourself." If he was so depressed, how did they know he was depressed? What were you depressed about? Life? You knew something. The parents knew something. So he goes away. They go, they find the car, they get the car, they bring it back. They know. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
know,
why
and
would
it'll
and
come
why
out
would
that
your
they know.
son? And what reason would your son be depressed that you wait a little
Exactly.
while to have your lawyer reveal that information that he was grieving? Grieving means I've lost something.
Right. So
What did he lose?
what was he grieving?
Right.
Right. So I think they know. I think they know. And I think the parents probably knew they probably didn't know he did it yet to himself. And it probably didn't become reality until they saw, the remnants of it all. But I think they did know
Yeah,
about.
but on that aspect, Denise, what wouldn't they have to charge them with something?
Well,
They
they're
have
not
to
saying that
put,
they're not going to charge them. They they wouldn't. They're not going to charge you with anything until they got everything in a row. I mean, he
I just
was. What was he? What was he? He charged with anything? No, but they knew that he used the credit card that didn't belong to him, which is a crime. What is he grieving at? Mm-mm. I just think they knew more. I think they know. Um, they knew more than what they did. I really do. I just can't believe that the things that happen. You bring home a vehicle that belonged to someone else without the person who the vehicle belonged to. The parents didn't put two and two together. Well, where is she? Still out in the wilderness without a vehicle? You're right. I mean, I just think they know more than what they do. Some people got away with worse, but I'm not going there. So then, as far as this hillbilly crap going on in Tennessee, like it's been going on for years, and unfortunately, at this particular time, a child has gotten hurt. You know, um, unfortunately, uh, kids. We never know what kids grow up, what situations they're going through until something happens.
Right.
If nothing ever happened, she still would be lollygagging on that mound that
Whew.
should be blown up, you know, with her brothers.
I
You
will
know,
supply the first Dollar Tree pilot lighter.
oh, believe me, I would. Let me tell you, I drive from Delaware just to go there to watch.
Oh my gosh.
But like I said, we don't know children, unfortunately, and the things that kids go through in life. Sometimes you don't know until they get older to tell it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, you can practice with a child all you want. Say this, say this, say this, but there's going to become a time where they're going to break, or they're going to.
Oh yeah,
they're
because
gonna,
children they don't have filters like adults.
right, and they'll feel comfortable. They'll start feeling comfortable, and they'll tell it. You know, my grandkids sometimes will go, "Well, the other day, mommy," and I'm like, "You didn't have to tell me that." I really didn't want to know that, but as soon as they feel comfortable, they will tell it. And I'm gonna tell you, he's 15 or whatever, looking like he's 25. He's gonna break. He's gonna break. So it's just a matter of time, or the time may have already gone. They may already have evidence against them. They just probably might be putting it together. We never know, because they're not gonna tell us everything. We can sit here and speculate. You can look at channels, and somebody done said this, girl, they said that. That's all people saying. This screaming at some ominous time of the day. Come on. Nothing makes sense in this story. So they should be locked up just on that. But you can't lock a person up for that. But it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And it's a shame that people's lives have been ended.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Exactly.
Every month, every other week, you're hearing something of some child done gone missing, or they done got killed because some trifling behind parents ain't got the sense God gave them.
Mm-hmm. But it happens every day, unfortunately.
It does. And we don't know about it until it's told to us. Unfortunately now, well, I'm not going to say unfortunately, but fortunately, now we have social media. We have the news. Back when we were little, we got some of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get it all. You didn't hear what happened in some other state, because you barely got the local news, So,
well, you can't. The thing about any story, doesn't matter if it's good news or bad news, is there's not enough time in the day for local news to report every good or bad thing that happened locally and nationally.
Right.
It depends on who picks up the story and passes it to the sister station.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I also do. I agree 100% with you when you say it's everything you need to know is at the beginning of the story.
Oh yes,
I agree 100% with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it don't make sense. I mean, to tell you the truth, I hate talking about CW and DW or whatever the name is today.
Look, I forgot. I'm going to say, is this that channel? CW channel? What the hell are we talking about?
I hate because if you go right back to the beginning,
put them in a pot of stew and boil them on top of the damn stove. I'm sick. I am just sick of these two. I really am.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know what, though? I think it's gonna come out. Unfortunately, it's not gonna come out fast enough for us.
For us, exactly.
But it's gonna come out. Number two.
Ooh, Candy, you don't need that fat foot. Here, let me put it in this pot and boil it.
Mm-hmm.
Cut up some carrots and potatoes.
And and the bad thing about it is, just like somebody said, I mean, like you said,
witch's brew. Oh, dear.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brandis's leg was hurting her so much.
Okay.
How you planting cactuses and stones?
Well, people said that too. You wouldn't really care about the flowers.
I wouldn't care about
really want to come home and sit on your front porch or your front stoop of your
went back into her mother-in-law.
What the hell that thing was, camper.
She went back into her mother. She should have just went back into her mother-in-law suite or hooked that thing up.
You know what, Satan? I cannot. No, you did not say her mom.
She should have just hooked it up to her car.
Satan. Wait a minute. Not the mom-in-law suite.
The mother-in-law suite.
Did you ever know the mom-in-law suite to be several feet from the main house?
Hers is. Well, their dynamics are a little off.
Okay. Oh, my yellow brick road.
Yeah.
Oh, my yellow brick.
So instead of her leaving,
I got a cold. Excuse me. Oh, I can't do this.
She should have hooked it up to her and went to wherever she was going, because her story doesn't make sense.
Girl, if you don't hook that RV up to your good car, to your SUV.
Her story don't even
Woo,
make
carry it
sense.
with you, Jesus. Carry it with you. Okay.
And then all the little motel, the little bus
Denise,
motel on
please
it,
stop.
all of it needs to be blown up.
Denise,
Hmm?
please stop.
I'm sorry.
Ooh,
I'm sick. I mean, just so. And he talking
ooh,
about he renovating for something
in the
for
damn
boys to come back.
garage. Look, that's a garage. Look, a garage with a basement. By Satan.
I never seen anything like that before.
They give, man, I'm telling you, man.
Did he build that?
They
That
give
was
a
already on
new
it?
meaning to atrocious and trifling. I mean, really.
And they're going to put an outdoor railing to go down into the dungeon.
You know what?
But you
Please.
still got to go through the island to get down there.
You know what? That looked like something about that damn Halloween. That Halloween before the last Halloween.
I told you
He had that makeshift thing in her kitchen. Do you know when I saw that movie a month and a half ago, or probably 2 months ago, I watched it. And when I saw that damn movie, I screamed so loud. Because the first thing I thought of, damn, Candy and Don, this they house. What the hell?
I tell you, it's a scary movie.
Hey, Michael Myers had enough sense to jingle jangle it. He knew something was up under it. Oh my God, I'm dead.
I tell you, to me, it looks like Chainsaw Massacre. Right up there. Remember at the end when that thing, what was that thing? A man or a woman dressed up in a thing with the, see, and that's what reminds me of them. The thing with the chainsaw at the end. They kept hitting. We don't know what that was. Man, woman, something. They tried to kill it and they couldn't. Kept coming back alive. But all jokes aside, I don't know. If they need some more help down there to try to figure this out, they should. Well, you got the TBI. I guess
She said down there. Y'all Northerners kill me when y'all talk about Southerners.
Well, I have to say down.
Well, that's what they used to say when I was growing up. We going down south for the summer.
Yeah, that's what
going down south.
Down there. Wait a minute, isn't it down? Wait a minute, it is down over there.
It's south. It's down there. Yeah,
it is down there.
Down in the holler. Oh Lord, somebody said I hear a banjo. Yeah, it said paddle faster. Oh God. Y'all know I got a cold. Please don't make me laugh. It hurts. My chest hurts.
Can you imagine you lost going down Ben Hill Road, whatever that road, going down, and you lost, and you look up there and see there, and you're like,
in the stream.
Oh heck no! You put the car in reverse and leave.
Ooh, jeez.
That's what happened to the red car. That's why you saw the red car. The red car was somebody lost.
You know what? I can't
put the car in reverse.
Wrong turn.
I think it was blue.
This guy was on his channel talking about, the Dolph situation. And he was talking about people going places and disappearing. And I was thinking wrong turn at the time when I was listening to it in my car today. And somebody ended up putting that in the chat saying wrong turn. I was just dying like, Lord. That's what a lot of these stories, you listen to them and you don't know if you're listening to real life or a fictional story.
But don't a lot of stuff that they make these movies are based on true stuff. They happen. Maybe what we should do is contact the writers of The Simpsons. Maybe they can tell us what's going to happen before it happens.
Look, man, you sure?
She did not. She did not.
Yes, she just did. I can't believe you came with that. Wow.
I mean, they usually predict pretty good, even.
What the hell y'all talking about in that chat? She is quite older than DW and lives in a home. Who you talking about? Some older woman.
Oh, that woman. Where did that woman go? That was Daddy's friend.
Dale.
That's her. Oh, yeah, that's her name, Dale. Yeah, what happened to her? They eat her.
And she got a masculine man name.
Now she gone. Huh?
I'm done.
She gone.
I can't.
Y'all know where Grandis is. Who else gonna be missing next?
Ooh, somebody please call the Wizard of Oz. Just call him, please.
Denise, where do you lie? Do you think that Candace did something with Summer, or you think she was abducted, or what?
No, I think she did something to her because
Yeah.
earlier on they were saying that
Mm.
Candace didn't even like her.
Yeah.
The relationship between her and her father, and plus she didn't want no girl, she wanted a boy. That's what I heard. I'm just going on here say I'm going on like everybody else.
Allie put all that out. The relationship between Grandis, and she told Grandis she didn't want the little girl, and Grandis, right? All that these shit bullshit. But the
That's
point is,
it. Yeah,
Grandis never raised her. She didn't never get the mother kid, so you don't really know what you're listening to. Well, what is
right,
the truth?
right. But I mean, I do think she did something to her. One thing in that picture I do look at is her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
She's in the back seat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, in the backseat. Her, when a person is alive
Mm.
in your sleep, your hands don't sit there in half circles, like just sitting there. And her hands are in a certain way that don't look right to me. It looks like
Okay.
someone that you're like, say if somebody was in a casket. I'm just saying, I hate to be morbid, but and they have their hands near each other, and you can't really the undertaker can't really maneuver them like they want to, so they may not be together, or they might have space in between them or something, but they look stiff and like a mannequin, and her hands look that way to me, like they're stiff. And one woman looked at the picture. This was right in the beginning. She's saying, "Oh, her lips are the color of life." No, she just had
Yeah, a lot
something
of
to
you all
drink
have, a lot
from
of people in the
Sonic.
chats have disputed if you thought that she was alive or dead
But
in
she
the
drank. She
photograph.
had some drink from Sonic.
Right.
You know how sometimes that can stain kids' lips. That'll stain my lips with
If you drink
food
anything
color.
that's blue, purple,
Yeah. So
red, it's
she
gonna stain
just
your
say she
tongue and
had
your lips.
red.
Yes.
So she gonna look her lips gonna look red.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think she was alive then.
Me neither.
I really don't. I mean, somebody they would have to just tell me if I'm wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
then the thing about it is we don't know when that picture was taken. It could have been taken the day before. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But I don't. I mean,
Yeah. See, the only person that's verifying that day
mhm.
is H and Allie.
Okay, right. And one of them could have been in
Besides
there.
Don and Candy. So you have four verifying that day.
Okay, so let's put a spin on it. I'm gonna put a spin on it. How about if Don really didn't know?
Well, he may not, but
That's what I'm saying.
he's capitalizing off of a dead or missing child, and
Yes,
that's
he
what
is.
some of us
Yes,
have
he
a
is.
problem with, thinking possibly he's guilty, because this isn't normal behavior of somebody with a missing child.
But
You don't behave like
he
this.
doesn't show normal behavior.
No. Well, he wouldn't, but that's the point. We didn't know him up
Right.
until the story broke, and now all this running to YouTube and Pookieville
Right.
and all this old type of crazy nonsense. So my mind is telling me, hell, if you didn't know anything about the child or did anything to the child, why are you acting like this and behaving like this? Because you don't seem like a person that's concerned about a missing child.
Mm-hmm.
Your behavior is self-serving. So that would lead me to think that possibly you're guilty or complicit to knocking the kid off, or abuse of a corpse, whatever.
Right. Because I think that's why when she was on Dr. Phil, and all of a sudden she wanted to get up because she thought they was on to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are they going to ask me next that I can't answer?
yeah, I've heard somebody else say that too.
And
She was
Don
anticipating the worst
Mm-hmm.
from Dr. Phil, so she was scared, really.
And she looked at, oh my God. She looked,
I just want to know why you didn't get your nails done. Could have went to the dollar store and got some fingernail polish. I'm gonna keep saying that.
She looked at downright now.
$1 for fingernail polish remover, $1 for fingernail polish. You could ask Dr. Phil, can I get a manicure? You sitting up there with somebody false ass teeth in your mouth, and the side was missing. And I thought, hell, y'all got the rest of the teeth is missing. Where the side teeth at?
Yeah, they just put the front in like a beaver.
Let me take off my teeth. Gonna give you a kiss. I'll take off my teeth. Give me some sugar. Satan, you get your children, please. I'm dead.
She's been in so much pain since that happened because it's infected now.
Please,
What's
Rags,
infected? Her
Rags, please
mouth?
stop.
Her mouth's infected?
Y'all are killing me
Yeah.
with this.
What, the teeth were too big for her?
What I can't.
Well, whatever they did to it got infected. I guess when they pulled them out.
Well, she probably don't brush her teeth.
Oh,
She's been crying and crying and crying.
Good. If that's what it takes for her to
I
cry.
tell you what, who
Hmm.
teeth they should have pulled or put some new teethuses in. Well, Don, maybe he shut the hell up.
No, he'll still talk. He always talk like he probably got extra teeth in his mouth. Where do those Candace? What we're gonna do today, Candace?
Ah!
You know, in Revelations,
I got some extra teeth, sis. Y'all hold on a second.
yeah, he got like 2 sets of dentures.
Okay.
Candace.
Oh! I need help, somebody, please. I'm trying to knock this cold out. Y'all not helping? Granny, go get my teeth. Got to talk first. These YouTubers. Got my teeth from my mom.
Did they ever go examine the workplace, his workplace? Remember somebody said that something wasn't right there?
What? I didn't hear your question about his workplace. What did you
Remember
say?
somebody said, I mean, like I said, this is just hearsay.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all are
I'm
killing
not-
me with these comments. The businessman in the library just doing me. What you talking
Oh
about?
my goodness.
Lord, y'all don't. Okay.
Remember somebody thought that he did something with her at his workplace?
Oh yeah, put her in the wall.
Yeah.
See how people just make up stuff?
I know.
You don't know
like
anything
sitting
about
there
what
like,
Don was doing, switching cars with a coworker. You think the police wouldn't have found that out by now?
Right.
Switch cars with a coworker. Come on now.
Can you imagine what they thinking?
Jesus.
They probably say, "Oh my God, where
These
did we
people
come?"
sit up all day on YouTube and they need to carry their ass to bed and go to work. That's what they're thinking.
That's why I keep asking about the digitals, because like if they've got the digitals back right now and they seen that Candace went home, left, and went someplace she shouldn't be, and they came back again, she should be in jail by now. That's why I was asking earlier.
But in the end, I can't arrest you on going somewhere else that you didn't tell me or admit it to. I got to have something concrete, some kind of evidence or some hair fibers, torn clothes, bones, something. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, it's just going to be her dispute. Well, I forgot about that. Or what was you doing over here? It shows you pinged over here for 20 minutes. What were you doing? In the end, what they're going to have to do is, like they always do, go to that area and see what they can find. Okay, but let's go here since we're talking about that. Let's say the child is deceased. Where'd they put her?
Yeah.
In my state or out of my state? Because you do know that we neighbor North Carolina and Virginia. Like right over the line. Because they live way up East Tennessee. They're nowhere from Virginia and nowhere from North Carolina. Did they dump
they had
her
enough
else?
time to.
Or did they dump her right around there? That's why they didn't want them looking around them parts. She's right there in plain sight. It's Summer Wells in plain sight. That'd probably be my next live.
I know that they had all the search crews out there and stuff, but I know there was a lot of people that wouldn't allow them on their properties too.
Mm-hmm. Right. But my thing is, why not? A child's missing. What do you have to hide? A child is missing.
Isn't that weird?
No, it ain't weird. It's suspicious. Why would you not let law enforcement come on your property and a child is missing? You live back in there. You're neighbors with these people, and you won't let them look on your property? Why not?
I don't even think it should be a question.
Thank you. I'm on your property.
Yeah.
I mean, if they was looking for somebody that had just robbed somebody, you'll wake up with flashlights in your window.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They probably were scared too when they got on the property. That's probably why they stayed at the bottom of the driveway. And then remember you asked that question why they wasn't picking, like what would you call I don't want to say picketing because that's an old word.
That sure is an old word. You take going back to the 60s. What the hell?
Why
I
are
had a
people
picket line outside Roscoe.
why aren't the people outside their house?
Yeah,
Protesting.
because I said that. Y'all couldn't wait to get to Florida for the petito. Yeah, I'm going to say it.
Yeah,
Because
but
I
do they
call it
have
spade a
do they have
spade.
lights back there at night?
You are all, no, we don't have lights in the
That's
county.
why.
No.
That's why.
No, that ain't why. You know not to carry your ass back there.
See,
Because let me tell you, what's the old saying? You check in, but you don't check out.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to see you. Follow you around that winding road to get to your little dust-ass hotel.
See
and
now.
you get to sitting around and there thinking you looking cute, checking into your Best Western. Your ass ain't going to check out a Best Western. Because you don't know who's going to go back and tell, yeah, them YouTubers staying over here in room 101, 202.
Yeah.
Y'all better stay woke.
Yeah.
You do got people who will ride or die with you.
I'm
Y'all
sorry.
running down there with that Gabby Petito hooping and hollering with bull horns and laundry baskets. You didn't do none of that for Summer Wells. Why not?
Yeah, you're right.
You bypassed Tennessee to get to Florida. Stand out there at that driveway and hoop and holler for Summer Wells. Summer Wells, 5 years old. She can defend herself. Gabby Petito was grown. She chose to mess around with Brian Laundrie. She chose to keep staying with a man who appeared to be violent. That was a choice. And I don't wish death on anybody, but that was a choice.
Yeah.
Summer's 5. It's a total difference.
You're right. But no, I'm sorry. I'm not going there.
Oh my God. Oh, no, they wore them folks out down there in Florida. Cussing and fussing and raising up the folk good dirt. They ain't got no damn sidewalks down there. Just like in that holler, they ain't got no damn sidewalks. Carry your ass down there in that holler and stand out there at the edge of the driveway. I'll be the first one to pay you. Please do. That's what I've been waiting on. When you gonna hoop and holler for Summer Wells?
Yeah, they pull out shotguns and No.
Going down there raising hell with about that laundry. You raise hell about Summer Wells. She's a child. Maybe if people had stood out there, we might get some different results. Did anybody ever think about that? Hello? Maybe had somebody stood out there and said, where is Summer? Where's your daughter? Instead of being on YouTube crying and moaning and making fucking videos every damn day, how about going stand out there in that gravel and rally for that little girl? Maybe they got spooked. These people keep coming out here, want to know where our baby is, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, but like you said, they put too many movies out. And
amazing, you can get shot in Florida. You can get shot anywhere. Somebody could have followed them people out of Florida,
right.
Down the road and followed you back to your hotel and snuffed you out.
I mean, that's true. But your chances of being missing as a protester there may be a little higher.
Well, hey, when you decide to go rally down in front of somebody's house, hooping and hollering, you are risking your safety.
That's true.
You just assuming what? It's 10 of us. They gonna shoot 3 first and get to me later. You don't know what somebody will do.
That's true.
When you up there running your mouth and hooping and hollering down there in front of somebody's lawn, you trespassing. Then you're a YouTuber at that, so you now know people know who you are. They got a face with
that's true.
The hollering. That's a foolish thing to do.
That was crazy.
That was foolish.
That was.
I'm not getting ready to go in there and hoop and holler about nothing. See, let me tell you about the Queen. I do everything meticulous. I know where to go and not to go because I know that if I was to go in the holler, somebody going to get a hold of that fucking tag on that car. I'm not no dummy. So you're not getting ready to follow the Queen no damn where.
Right.
You ain't got no black folks in the town anyway, and you them girls standing out there hooping and hollering at their driveway. Next, they'll be looking for me. I ain't
Yeah,
stupid.
that's what I'm saying. Mm-mm. Yeah.
Like the old saying, you got to choose your battles.
Mm.
You got to choose your battles.
Yeah.
But some white people could get away with standing out there and rallying for Summer Wells. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they should have done. And I find that strange. No white people went out there to rally for Summer Wells. That's what the hell y'all should have done. Went out there and stood at the driveway every waking day. Where that baby? Where's that baby? I'm telling you, they would have broke under pressure because they looking like, shit, we come out of here, they probably going to follow us out of here. We go to the store, woo, woo, woo. Hey, mind control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's mind control. Tracy Van Horn said, Queen, you a gangster. I'm not no gangster, but I'm just telling you the truth. The white folks should have stood outside that damn driveway and said, hey, where's this baby? Y'all down there hooping and hollering for a 22-year-old damn woman. Why you won't do that for a 5-year-old child? I find that strange. 5 years old, she can't defend herself. Should have stood out there. Hey, where's your baby? Hey, where the hell your kid is? You sitting up here on YouTube every damn day making videos, these stupid ass YouTubers. Where the hell is your kid? Where the hell is your baby? Where is your child? I feel sorry for her and her brothers.
Yeah.
And best to hope them kids can stay together. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's true
them
too.
boys can stay together because taking in 3 children, that is a big responsibility.
Yeah, and then you don't know what other baggage you're bringing in with you. You know, they might have other issues going on.
Well, they might, because look at this fucking parents.
I know, that's what I'm
Ask
saying.
yourself how these kids could be normal with these 2 misfits as their mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't blame those kids if they were acting out and doing some irregular behavior.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what all they've seen and experienced in that house with them.
I know what I experienced, and I was just looking at it. And I'm an adult.
Oh, Raz, what did you say?
I said they're definitely going to have to be re-raised.
Yeah, definitely.
She said, oh, Lord, have mercy, I'm dead.
Can you imagine?
She said re-raised.
Basically. I mean,
now you going to stand over there in the line. Get you some new parents so you get re-raised, girl. Damn, Rags. Oh, Lord, sometimes I can't stand it.
Oh, well, she's right though. She's right. You know.
Yeah. They get separated. Somebody don't adopt all 3 or raise all 3. So now the children will be separated. That's horrific on a child. Yeah. Get separated from their parents and their siblings, even if the parents ain't no damn good. That's all they know. You still love your mom and daddy, even if they're crooks. Mm-hmm. Now, some kids might dislike or hate their parents because of how they were treated, but every child don't have the same emotion.
Right. And then if you grew up in that, how do you know you're being mistreated?
That's Stockholm syndrome.
Right. So, you know, it's a way of life. That's
all they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, let's go outside and play in the mud.
And every one of the people that they brought in that house was the same way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. It would be sickening if we find out, which we probably never will, but it might be years, we'll be damn near dead, that they wanted to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they do.
Imagine that. They want to go back. Oh, that would just break my spirit to know those babies would want to go back with these heathens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just like every movie you watch, though, on that stuff. I mean, those people that lived like that, that's all they know. Mm-hmm. So when they did something different, it's scary. They want to go back.
Yeah,
because that's your mother and your father.
Tracy has a very good point, because we went through COVID, Tracy. Tracy says, how did the teachers at school not see the abuse? Very good question.
Well, that kind of goes to like the whole town. Like everybody that was their main thing about hating Robin. They're like, how did all the people at the church see this and not say anything? And I'm like, well, then
Oh,
you
the
have
church knew something was wrong. There's no way the church didn't know something was wrong with Summer. Let's start with Summer first because she's the obvious question. You saw her bouncing around every day, running around on the through the week and on the weekends having services. You knew something was wrong with her then because she couldn't sit still. That's a given.
Yeah.
That's
And
given.
then you had the red blob in the corner sitting there.
You know what? Oh, Lord have mercy.
You knew something was wrong then. I wish I would go to church and put a hoodie on.
Well, see, that's the whole point of what I'm saying. Sit up in the Lord's house, dress like a man, and then fall asleep. You have no respect for yourself, and you have no respect for the house of the Lord.
But then you want these same people to help you now.
Well,
come help me. I mean, it's the thing to do because you're the church and the community, but
it's
they stop having prayer visits?
But it's disrespectful to sleep in church because let me tell you something. Everybody knows their temperament.
Yeah.
So if I know that I like to stay up late for whatever reason, I know I ain't about to get up early to go do nothing. It don't matter what it is, business, work, church, whatever. So you knew what? They have it on the Saturday. Their Sabbath is Saturday, right? Okay, so that means on a Friday night, you should have got your tail in the bed early so you could go to church. You all sleep up in the Lord's house. It's very disrespectful. So that means you should have bowed out. I'll stay home, let my husband take the kids to church, which that's what Don was doing. He was in church with the church. He should have taken the kids to church and left Candy Cane at home. You understand what I'm saying? Left her fat face at home.
But though, he seems like, unfortunately, with his trifling behind, he seems to be the one that likes the people to look at him in a different light sometimes. Like,
everybody puts on a facade. That's part of being human.
Yeah.
And that's what Donald Wells. That's what Donald Wells has been doing most of his life. He knows how to turn on the charm, even though he knows he's a rascal. He knows 9 times out of 10 people know his past and stuff he's doing, but he doesn't care.
Right.
Even now when he got arrested and putting out that statement, pray for who, Donald? Pray for who? How you gonna go back up in the church after you've got a DUI? I feel ashamed to go back to church. I'm just keeping real.
Well, yeah. Satan was he probably knew the Bible was better than some.
Well, it was said that people did call on them. So if there was that many calls in on them, somebody had to do it. We know one was supposedly Allie. So the church may have called.
Somebody should have called them on Allie.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
CPS should have took Hunter.
That is a big ass girl.
I can't believe her gut was hanging out of her shirt.
There is no way. This is why these people have no business having children. You have a retired detective coming down to interview you.
They was in their dress clothes.
You would sit in front of a man, a complete stranger, half dressed with your belly hanging out. What is wrong with you?
Because that's their normal dress.
No respect for yourself and no respect for company strangers. There's no way I'm going to sit in front of a man with all my cellulite hanging out. Did you hear what I just said? Ain't no way, Satan. You ain't about to see my tonsils, my liver, nothing. With all my jingle jangles hanging outside of no damn Baby Gap shirt. I said it. You sitting up there knowing you all of 400 pounds and you gonna sit your big ass up there with your big ass belly hanging out your damn stomach.
And I mean, like, we can say the kids don't know no better, but she's an adult.
Exactly.
Even if she's raised like that,
my point. That's my point. You're a woman. You could have went and put on you a maxi dress, a long dress, and sat on that front porch, waving you a fan. And you do not have to have all that fat hanging out underneath your damn shirt. She's ridiculous to me.
But she thought it was okay, though. That shows you her way of thinking. She thought that was okay.
Sure, and Chris Madonna, hell, I'm about looking at him like he crazy too. Some of y'all like Chris, but I'm looking at him. I would have told him, will you go cover up, ma'am?
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A gentleman will tell you, ma'am, could you go put something on? I ain't about to sit out here and talk to you with all that stuff hanging out your
something coming out your
hanging out.
and I don't need to see it.
Look, I see Tokyo from here, ma'am. Can you put Russia back inside, please, ma'am?
I would have asked her at least go put a moo on or something.
Exactly.
My goodness gracious.
Oh,
Put your jingle jangles up. Oh, that wasn't nothing but some good pork. All that pork roast was hanging out. I said, damn, girl, you just gonna let all that stuff hang out. I'm like, only time a big gal need to let it hang out is in the company privacy of her own home. And ain't nobody looking and look, lights off. You know what I said? Lights off.
So she can only imagine what she looked like.
Dim the lights, Allie. Damn.
Yeah, that was bad.
Woo!
But yeah, they should have. CPS should have took as soon as that aired. They should have came a knocking on her door.
That girl is swelter. What job?
The sad part is there's some man out there licking his lips watching that.
Look at Taylor said, feed us for a year. Damn, I'm dead. I almost fell out this chair. You don't need a debit card, food stamp. We got the meat, all right? All you need is a big grill. I'm dead, Satan. Oh God, I can't. Y'all, please, y'all killing me.
See, but you know what? The bad thing about this right there is okay with them, and this is the bad part. This is okay.
Oh Jesus, please, somebody. Somebody said Jose jalapeno on a stick. Oh, okay. I'm great in this live.
You didn't even say it. You have to say it with the Mexican accent. Jalapeno on a stick. I can't do it.
You want to say jalapeno on a stick? Oh my God! Y'all know I got a cold. Please stop. My son says at a bedside grilling. I'm dead.
Oh my God! That was so...
Mommy, what's that grill doing in your room? Baby, mama gonna put a leg up there.
Wow.
We gonna roast this big ankle tonight.
See, that's why so many people turn into vegans.
Oh, Satan, please leave me alone. Oh, Mommy, your toes are burning.
And you know what? H should have said something. I would have been like, Mom, we can't do this like this.
Oh God, wait a minute. Mommy, what's wrong with your toes?
Why are you dressed like that?
Ooh.
I'm just giving her my nice clothes. Those were her nice clothes.
Oh my God. Damn. Jesus said, no, not tonight. Somebody said Jesus. Jesus said, I'm off. I'm done.
He said, lights out, click.
Yeah, he sure did. Lights out, kiddies, lights out.
Allie did work at Walmart. We see how people dress at Walmart. So,
oh God, please. What? Look, and you know, I meant to say something even then when I heard that. What did she do there?
I don't know, but she got fired probably the next day.
That ain't nothing but the Incredible Hulk. Oh, damn. She rapping like damn Rick Ross. Shit. Somebody paramedics. Oh, all that just breathing heavy for no reason. Somebody called a paramedic.
And smoking.
Please. Oh, will you say it again?
And smoking.
Oh my God! Somebody
And
said
drinking a
smell of
Coke. What was
vision.
she drinking, a
Thankfully,
Coke
isn't
or
a
a
thing.
Pepsi?
Wait
A
a minute.
Pepsi?
Let me tell you what Tracy said. Smell of vision. Thankfully, isn't a thing yet.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Tracy, please.
Mm.
I wouldn't want to smell all that dead pork.
Along with smoke and
Mm-mm.
probably burping from a Coke.
Stinking Mountain Dew drinking. Oh my God.
Then the mom next to her.
I just think some guy would probably like that too, all that heavyweight.
Yeah, they go missing for a couple days.
Bring me a Mountain Dew.
Mm, mm,
I'm thirsty.
mm,
Dead.
mm.
I'm so dead.
Yeah, that was hard. Now everybody has a visual of that.
Girl. Oh, Leah. Now that's not nice. She was the bacon snuffer. Huh? What the hell is that?
Bacon snuffer.
I don't know what that is. What is that? What is it? Will somebody enlighten me?
I don't know. The only thing I think of snuff is
Leah, what that mean? The bacon snuffer.
Don't you put snuff in your gums?
Girl, you're gonna make my spit my drink out. You sick. Oh my God, a sassy time will make a hell of a lot of lard. Oh Lord. You right. Oh, who done it said sniffer. Well, I tell you what.
Oh,
Right. You have bacon grease for months, years.
That
woman might be shaming herself. I was just stunned. When I watched that interview, I just said, I couldn't even focus on what the boy was saying. I couldn't focus on nothing. While
Yeah, because it was right there.
Like, what is this? Is crazy.
Right there. Yep.
How could you focus on? Let's be truthful. How could you focus on what the child was saying and you're sitting there looking at this half naked big girl sitting up here?
I couldn't. I just kept washing her shirt, waiting for it to roll up.
Exactly.
I was looking like,
I was thinking she
oh,
was gonna pull it down.
somebody rub her stomach and make a wish. I'll be home for Christmas.
With an apple in my mouth.
Oh,
nope. And spit
wow.
on the fire.
Damn.
Like on a serious note, though, I mean, now I kind of see why Summer did cling to Robin. I mean, look at the people. There's
right.
Yeah,
exactly. You're right.
And the offspring, and then there's that Jamie guy was up there a lot. The one that went crazy at his work. Jose, Grandma. I mean, these are people that Robin was like the only halfway normal one.
Yeah.
And I think she liked her because she's looking at her. She's got long hair. If you notice in the videos where she's holding her in church, she's just pulling on her hair. She's rubbing her face. It was almost sickening. And I'll be truthful with you. I was really offended when the videos were released because I was like, come on, you guys. This is church. Really?
Yeah.
It was offensive because that was the Lord's house and that should be sacred. You know, you're putting this up for YouTube. I understand you want people to see, you know, how the child behaved, but that just enlightened you to show that Summer was neglected as a child. She's, you know, touching on this woman through service, running around the church, the mama sitting over in the corner asleep. Hell, where was the father to say, hey, Candace, you need to wake up or don't come back to church? You see where I'm going? The elders, you should tap her on the shoulder. Hey, you need to wake up. All of it was BS.
Yeah.
Same thing with the child. Somebody should have been making Summer sit down. She can't learn right from wrong until somebody tells her.
Right.
And one thing I noticed in watching one of those videos, they had all the kids line up there, and the boys, her brothers, one of them was running back and forth, and the preacher went up there and he put his finger up to him, like he was disciplining him and telling him to stand still. And I'm like, why are you only doing that to them?
Because they probably the only ones that go in there and act crazy. Oh, you said it was a bunch of them running around?
No, they brought one of the videos that they posted up there. One of them, they had all the kids coming up there and staying in a line, like they were going to sing or something. And one of her brothers was kind of running up and down the steps, and the pastor came out there and grabbed him by the shirt, put him there, and like, stay right here. And I'm like, why aren't you doing that to Summer?
Yeah, because Summer needed that. Somebody was supposed to put her in her place because you hear her talking to Chris Madonna like, well, there was times I'm trying to, do my class, blah, blah, blah. And she's running around. Well, you're the teacher. That's your job to tell her, baby, you've got to sit down.
Yeah.
And you also were supposed to let her know she can't sit in your lap while you do your class.
Right.
Because children will look at that and think, oh, she's always in her lap. Favoritism. Children watch and dissect everything you do and say.
Right.
And they will feel some type of way. One of those kids that, why is this child always in the teacher's lap?
So was the pastor of the church the guy that was at the prayer vigils?
Oh, I don't know, baby.
Who was you know the guy I'm talking about? The one that was singing,
the one that was doing the sign language,
the heavy set guy.
No, I don't think he's the pastor.
Oh, okay.
No,
but I just think it was just so sad sitting there watching the child run amok in church, and other children are being quiet and obeying, and listening to the teacher give her information in church, and Summer's the only one running around. That was very telling of how she was raised, because those other children were sitting quietly listening to the words and the singing. You understand what I'm saying? That shit was sick. I'm sorry, but all of that was sick. All of it was sick.
Yeah, it was.
It's sick.
It was.
There was one video I watched. I don't know if she's a psychiatrist or she works with children, and she was talking about, like, every time Summer would play with that Robin's hair, she'd play with her hair, and she touched her face, and she touched her face. She says the sensory thing.
Okay.
I don't know anything about all that. I just watched. It was about an hour long. She was,
but it's scary watching that, though. To me,
it is.
All that was disturbing to me, watching that. All those different videos that girl was uploading to her channel. I was just like, man, y'all pushing a fine line with these videos, because it showed you this child was neglected and she had some issues, and it was sad to me.
That's why I said, a lot of times they take these kids out of the home because of it. But what do you do with the parents? Like she done had 2 sets of kids.
Yeah.
And see,
that's something that needs to stop, because this just forfeiting children to the state or death, however it goes, it's got to stop. And I agree. What's going to happen? You take the child out of their care. You got to go find them a foster care facility, to rear the children. But you all need to start going to damn jail. Because I don't just taking the child out of the parents' care because of neglect or whatever. Hell no. Y'all need to stand out and go to damn jail.
Now, the first 2 kids that Candace had, the little boy, her boyfriend beat. So he's in a mental thing for the rest of his life. But the girl, didn't she get put in foster care?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
So they're continuing to be able to breed and keep the other ones? That makes no sense.
So let me ask you this. How old is that little boy that's in this facility?
How old?
Is he now?
That I'd have to look up. I don't remember. I think he's in his teens or older.
That's just
wasn't he like 3 or something?
At that time, yeah, he was little then.
Because you figure the oldest boy of the 3 boys is what, 12?
12.
Well, either way, the kids went to stay with a relative, I believe, and then next thing you know, they're back in foster care. That is horrific. They just got out the mother's care, Candace. Then they go thinking they're going to be living in a family's home or whomever's home. The next thing you know, they're in a foster home. That's just terrible. This is what happens with children in the system, and people don't understand that.
Well, that's
they
what I'm
go
saying.
from place to place to place until they're grown.
That's what I'm saying, because CPS was already called on them before. They'd done been out to that house before. She's done got kids taken away. Why weren't they taken away before all of this? They had to
see what you're saying.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, she's already got kids taken away. You go out to a house that we all seen. That as soon as they walked in, they should have took those kids immediately.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off, is that don't come telling me no story about the kids got taken 6 weeks after. You had to go to the house to investigate the Summer missing, and you gonna tell me you walked up in there and you thought it was fitting for humans to live in?
Especially when you got a cat or a dog greeting you at the door. Oh,
Say
door
what?
wasn't even closed. It was open.
Come again?
I said, especially when you have a dog or a cat greeting you at the door
What are you talking about?
inside that house of horrors.
Oh, dead.
Well, I know they'd been out there before the day that Summer went missing.
Right.
It
So
doesn't-
how did they not see that?
Well, what's the proof? What's the proof that it was out there the day before? You know how I feel about those
No, I didn't. I
accusations.
didn't say that they've been out there before, not the day before.
Okay, but
They've
that's
been
my
out.
point. But still, where is the source that
Oh,
they
so you're saying they might not have never been out there. They might not never seen it.
No, I know they did it. That was on the news.
see? That's
That was
why I
on the.
said that's why I have a problem with this story. There's nobody to verify the dealings with CPS, when they were called, how many times they were called, did they ever show up to the house, knock on the door, tell her they were coming, not come. You understand what I'm saying? Then when you do go there, the day the girl's missing, you still let the damn people stay there with the damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Yeah.
problem with that. 6 weeks they still stayed in that damn house. So my thing is, what happened 6 weeks in? Was it because he got drunk that weekend? Something jumped out that weekend when he got drunk, and the next thing we know, we heard the kids were gone the next week. See, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Well, he said on CM's interview that he did lose it, and then they took the kids, but it had nothing to do with him losing it.
Mhm.
Okay, well they were there for 6 weeks. It
But
didn't
that still
tell you
sounds
last year.
stupid to even say that.
Yeah.
I done got crunk drunk. Days later, my kids are gone. See, this is what I said about these people, man. You can't believe nothing come out of their mouths. You can't believe nothing come out of their mouth.
There
Yes,
was,
Allie did say she reported them a few times. Yes, she did.
yeah, and there was documentation. I can't get off of here because it messes up. I did find where the CPS had been to that house prior to that day,
Yeah.
at least once.
See, but this is a sick part of the story. Nobody's gonna ever verify that. And there's a little girl missing. Some
Mm-hmm.
believe she's not alive. What was the reason for the allegations?
Mm-hmm.
Why did it take so damn long? Why on the day the girl's missing, you still let the children stay in that house? This is bullshit.
But
The whole story is bullshit.
a little off the subject though, like last year, I live in a little town in Indiana, and when COVID hit, kids weren't going to school.
Yeah.
And I'm friends with a few teachers, and they were crying and trying food and stuff out. And I'm like, what's going on? They said, you don't understand. Some of these kids, this is the only meal they have. And to me, it's like, why isn't somebody doing something about that?
Yeah.
Well, I
So-
know it.
But let me talk about that for a minute. Let's go there.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Denise. I believe that's bullshit too. With that, it's their only meal, because 9 times out of 10, the parents get welfare as far as food stamps. You're
But
not
you
gonna
know
make them leave if you have a
you're
certain
right.
income guideline.
You're right.
You're not getting food stamps. So
I
how
bet-
is it your child is going to school hungry?
Well, you know what? Even with COVID, when COVID even
That's what I
started,
can
when they
tell.
started going virtual, like
Yeah.
we had every parent was mailed a food stamp card,
Uh-huh.
whether they qualify for it or not.
Or not.
It's just
Okay.
the fact that you have
That's what I'm
a
saying.
child.
That's why I know this is BS.
And
I
then
didn't
they
get.
had the meals here. We had meals delivered to
Mhm.
the houses, to their homes.
That's-
They would go to the nearest bus stop.
Uh-huh.
Everybody would meet there, give you food for. Actually, they would come like 3 times a week.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. That's what I was saying.
So
That's what they were doing here. They were delivering it, and like they
Yeah.
told you, they
A
can
lot
meet
of
you.
organizations were making sure children got
Yeah.
fed and all that, but everybody knows just common sense. You have to be really slow not to know to go get aid for your child when it was no COVID.
right.
So
Right.
I refuse to believe any child, period, ain't got no food. You don't got no food because you're choosing not to feed your damn kid.
Mhm.
That's just the bottom line.
Right.
Well, that's
Because
what I was
anytime
asking.
you have children, you know to go apply for aid to get food stamps. It's just the bottom line.
Exactly. That's what I didn't understand. I mean, they were like trying to get out and taking their own personal vehicles and getting out and delivering these food because they're like, I know that this, this person, this person, this person, this is their only meal.
Mhm.
And I'm like, there's food stamps out there. There's
Yeah,
this. There's
it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
yeah. That's kind of what I thought too.
And
If
then
they
we have
were
too
like,
many food pantries in most states and
Mm-hmm.
cities and towns where
Mm-hmm.
parents, if they're home during the day, they can go get food
Yep.
during the day to feed their children. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I know this is BS about kids not being fed and not having no damn meal. No,
Right.
you're either just not feeding your kid. That's the only option. You're not
yeah,
feeding your kid.
that's why I was saying. So if this is the truth, then this person is being neglected. And if there really
Mm-hmm.
is this many people out there, I kind of see why they can't take all of them in.
Okay,
But
Smoke.
there's not that many people that neglects their kids. I wouldn't think. Like
Yeah,
here in my town, like almost every other corner, there's one of those little boxes where you can take food and put
yeah,
it in.
yeah.
So I'm like, this can't be true.
Yeah. No, the only thing I can see is that you are choosing not to buy what you need for your kids or feed them
Mm-hmm.
because most states are the same. There's an income guideline as far as how much food stamps you can get depending on your total income. Candace does not work anywhere. So she's definitely going to qualify for getting food stamps because one, you have to ask yourself how much money her husband was making at the time before the child went missing.
Mm-hmm.
So if he didn't have a really high income bracket, she would qualify for food stamps. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Donald would have to be making a really high income for her not to be able to get food stamps for her children.
Well, he claims that they never
Mm.
got any government assistance, and I think that's
But I
awful.
think he knows not to tell her to put him on anything to get
Yeah.
any type of government assistance. You know, see, you can't run game on the queen. Queen is woke, and I ain't about to
Oh,
believe people don't know the system and how to get away with getting
Mm.
anything free and extra.
Mm.
These two right here, they know the game.
oh yeah.
They know the game.
I mean, he'd have to. I was trying to remember the guidelines on that. At least where I'm at, I think it's like 85,000 or more
What?
Yeah.
for food stamps, and it's still with 4 kids, you're still going to get some.
Yes.
I don't know about
And
that.
as Renee says, all the extra that people got for COVID, they were getting extra from the government naturally
Yes.
for claiming their kids. So
Yep.
they've gotten a couple $1,000s for
Mm-hmm.
their children. And then up until they got their kids taken, you got 250 to 300 a month for your child up until the month of December 2021. If you
Right.
have a child under the age of 6, you got 300. If your
Mm-hmm.
child was over 6, you get $250 a month, and it's supposed to end December 2021.
Right.
Now that's the stimulus check. How much was it for
Yeah.
food stamps? Didn't they gave extra on food stamps, didn't they?
Yeah, and then those that
Yeah, I
didn't
think they
have food
did.
stamps, they
But
gave
that's
them a
what I'm
card.
saying. You're not going to make me believe this lady didn't apply for food stamps
Yeah.
feeding 6 people. There's just no way I'm going to believe he made enough money to take care of 6 people, and the state would say, oh, yeah. Because even if he made $15, $16 an hour, you're still talking about feeding 6 people. That's not enough money with 6 people. And paying water, gas, light, and all that. Even though the state of Tennessee goes by your gross income, not what the taxes are taken out.
Right.
So that can be a problem too. But you're still talking about several people. It's not like I make 13, 15 an hour and it's just me and one kid.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might feel like you can get by, but you're talking about 6 miles on 13, 14 an hour. There's no way you're going to make it on that even with 6 people.
I haven't been on it for so many years, I don't remember. I know it was me and my 2 kids, and I got it for a little bit, and I got a 5-cent raise, and they took it away from me.
She probably got medical insurance, Renee. That's what I'm sitting here trying to tell you all. That girl got medical insurance through the state and food stamps. She couldn't make it if she didn't. She couldn't make it if she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But see, this is what y'all got to understand. It doesn't matter what Don made. It doesn't mean she told Don's income. Stay woke.
Yeah, because didn't they just get married?
Because if he doesn't have a job where he clocks in on a time clock where it can be documented, she's not going to go to the state office and tell them her husband works. I tell y'all, pay attention to the details.
Mm-hmm. Then she probably used her
I'm not
maiden
going to
name.
tell them he works.
That could be why she goes by Candace Bly too. She makes
Right.
them think that they're
Thank
married.
Yep.
you.
Yep.
That's what I keep trying to tell everybody. You got to listen to the details. It's a game. I'm not getting ready to go to the state and tell them I got this husband here. You can still get food stamps even with a husband. For those that don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
State of Tennessee will still give you assistance with a husband, depending on if he works or not. So
Right.
you don't know what she told the state. She doesn't even have to tell the state that she has a baby daddy. She knows who he is. Stay woke.
Oh,
You
and
think she's
another
sitting up there with not getting any food for her fucking kids and herself? You know she is.
yes. Also with that brand new car, that's why it's probably in somebody else's name. Too.
Sure.
Because they can't have a brand new car and get assistance. Because I've been through that myself.
Well,
So
they ask you all those questions, and naturally, you're not going to tell somebody you have a car, you pay a car note. They
Right.
ask you, do you have a car? You say no. Do you have assets? You say no. Do you have a bank account? You say no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a game.
Yep.
You don't tell it. You just don't tell it.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, she never told that her husband worked. You know, because like I said, there's an income guideline naturally to get food stamps and all that. Right. What somebody just said. Probably work for cash, shows no income for him. Thank you, Candy.
Yep.
Exactly.
Under the table. In the table.
Yeah, he's probably getting paid either cash money or a personal check. He knows the game. She knows the game because she's had children. She knows not to mention that he has any income. She probably just gave that address where she lived with her children and never spoke of a baby daddy. The state can't go tack on anybody for child support if you don't give up a name.
Right.
So if I don't have a name to give, then they'll still just give me my money for the children in this state. You don't have to give a name. Nobody can make you give up a name for a baby daddy. Yes, home. It's sad. It is sad. Somebody says, I bet they aren't legally married. Okay, let's go there because that's coming back up in the chat. Rags, are they married or not?
Well, there's wedding photos. Not seen a wedding certificate, but seen wedding photos.
Oh, you saw this.
I saw wedding photos, yes. They're on Facebook. But I've not seen a marriage certificate.
Wow.
Tracy said, yep, Joe Blow for daddy. Girl, you crazy. That's it. They know the game.
Yeah, I can put a picture up there and say that I'm married.
She knows exactly what to tell the state so she can get any type of assistance. You got to think about it. These people don't work. She does not work. You want me to believe this man gonna sit here and not get no medical insurance from the state or food stamps or anything? You got to think about her kids were young. Who paid for the formula? All that. He paid for all the baby milk, baby baby food, Pampers, toiletries, milk, Rattlers. Hell no. No. She, like somebody said in the chat, she got wit. You know she did.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And they had to have some kind of medical insurance because that, like, not too far before Summer went missing, that one boy cut his arm off or up real bad.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what happened?
One of our boys, there's a picture on our Facebook where he cut his arm real deep, and they were in the hospital.
Yeah, doing what exactly?
That's what I'm saying. Probably out there and slipped and fell.
Just like that picture where Crime Lines and Lives on their channel the other day, and they blurred out the little girl Summer on a piece of wood where they were building something onto the house. She's naked at probably 2 years old.
Yeah.
Why is a little girl outside naked on a piece of wood straddling a plank of wood? What the fuck is wrong with these people?
That's what I'm saying. And then that swing.
She could have hurt herself, fell down, hurt her kitty cat, anything. It's like, what is wrong with you all?
They don't even need the dogs that are at the house. They don't even need them.
If
Yeah.
somebody says they're system abusers, not to mention what Candace did to her first children,
Yeah.
CPS would have notified the hospital by law. What you talking about, Renee? See, that's something else I've wondered too. When people get their kids taken,
Mm-hmm.
okay, one set of children get taken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you end up pregnant again. They feel like there should be a way that they can say, we're not going to give you any assistance for having another child, and we just took a child away from you a year or two ago or however long. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Candy has more children now. So what we have to ask ourselves, do some of these states put you in a database for having issues of your children being taken? Do they go ahead and once you're pregnant again, go ahead and give you monies, welfare, medical
Mm-hmm.
with a new set of child, knowing you're already in system for getting your other child or children taken?
Mm.
That's what I was trying to ask earlier when I was talking about the first two. It's like they just let them keep reading and just leave the other kids when they
Right.
prove they're unfit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But something, see, that's why I said the laws need to change, because Candace has this last set who are now no longer in her custody.
Right.
So something needs to change with people losing custody of their kids or whatever, and then popping up pregnant again in the same state and or another state. I don't know how the databases work, for the welfare system.
Well, it's
Uh, I know
they can see across states now.
well, that's what I'm saying.
As soon as she.
Are you letting these people still have other kids and still get aid for them, even though they've abused another child beforehand and got them taken? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That shit's got to stop.
Yeah. Well, the first thing they say was short staffed.
Somebody says, I bet Candace gets pregnant again. No doubt.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Somebody says CB is tube tied. Oh my God.
Don Wells starts singing a song by the Staple Singers.
I don't know if she's tube tied or not. Somebody else says they need to fix them one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it should be a law. Once you lose your kids to the state, severe abuse, and we're not talking about you handing your kids over for whatever reason. I'm talking about that your kids were taken from you. Once your kids have been taken from you, I think there should be a law that there's a procedure. You are admitted to the hospital and get your ass snipped. Guy, female, it's all the same.
But that's not gonna happen. Now, if that was in another country, oh yeah, it ain't gonna happen here in the United States.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to stop this, because that's why we're talking about Summer Wells right now.
I
These
know.
people had kids before her. The father had a set of kids before he met Candy. So it's all the same. These people procreating, and now they're in the same predicament they were in with the last set of kids each had before they even knew each other.
Where's his kids? He had kids?
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're grown now.
They're grown, yeah. Or they should treat them like they do inmates.
Yeah.
As soon as you have your kid, it's put up for adoption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think it should be automatic.
Yeah.
Your kids are taken from you for severe abuse or death. You need to be medically snipped. That's it. You can screw all you want without a condom till your eyeballs fall out, but you ain't making no damn babies. And you're not getting to go to the state and ask for no type of welfare, period.
Mm-hmm.
Help, nothing. Yes, forced sterilization if you physically abuse your children. Yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because this is making sense for us to be talking about this kid and these kids in another state.
Not just their tubes tied either, the whole thing taken away.
And that's both of them.
Oh, you talking about take the ovaries and everything out?
Yeah, because I had my tubes tied and I got pregnant after I had my tubes tied.
What? Really?
Oh, you had them tied, not clipped and burned?
Tied, clipped, and burned is what I told them to do.
Wow.
And the doctor said I tied them.
Well, he must have some mean sperm.
That's what I was about to say. They went diving and jumping and contortionists.
Like, I was 10 weeks pregnant because I didn't even know. I didn't think that was a possibility. But yeah.
Wow. Get out. That's very scary.
Very scary.
Yeah, that's very scary.
Because you figure she's done had 6 kids, and 5 of them were in the system, and one's missing.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm speaking of both male and female.
Yeah, both of them should.
Snip
Well,
them
he
both.
should have. Oh Lord, he.
Snip them all. Man
Yeah.
and woman both.
Yep. They should never have no more children. All the animals taken. They shouldn't even have dogs and cats.
And that's another thing too. That needs to stop too.
How you gonna have 20?
Because I'm getting sick of that too. People don't take care of their kids, then you got the nerve to have damn animals.
Mm-hmm. We left this space in there so they can go in there and have their puppies. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Because that's something that was said a couple of years ago about here in Tennessee, or when they went to houses where they did raids for meth.
Mm-hmm.
They said they always had children and dogs. So that tells you something right there. You're sitting here manufacturing drugs in your house, and you got the nerve to have your kids in there and also damn pets. So I think that's another law that needs to be passed. Your ass can't own an animal and or a child.
See, the animals will tell whether somebody's coming.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the animals be half alive.
I came a little off subject here, but I've always wanted to ask this question. In getting into summer wells, I've seen where there's this thing called black web or whatever, where there's kids lined up for people buy them.
Yeah.
Why is that even a thing? If the FBI and all them know about this, why are they not?
Why you can't shut it down? I know what you're saying. I don't know. That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Go get the kids. You know, you're seeing them there. Go get them.
Because my thing is, the FBI has more technology than your local law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to go in and find out who owns this site, that site.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. It should be shut down. Every site that you find, you go in and mechanically shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good question.
I mean, I started researching more on that and stuff, and it's
stuff. They say some creepy stuff on that dark web. It's everything sinister that you could think of that you could do with a human and or animal. It's on.
But the way I read it, it's been for years, and it's like,
well, once again, you can shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can shut it down. You don't need a decoy. Go in and shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
But these people are so underground. They work in groups, pilfering pictures amongst one another. I've heard of that. They send each other filthy pictures of children and sexual assaults and stuff. It's hard to even believe that you would be able to make a underground group and talk and communicate personally, swapping paraphernalia. It's just hard to understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't got into all that. Just I seen a thing where they kidnap these kids and then they sell them.
Yeah.
And it's like
they do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of stuff on the dark web. Honey.
That's just crazy to me.
The dark web goes way deeper. Anything pornographic, sadism, all that's on there.
Crazy.
Anything that you think is taboo, it's on there. They have groups that child pornography rings. They swap pictures of children. They send them to each other. Yeah, they rock like that.
And the FBI just lets it go?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Shut it down. What is the problem?
Right.
I don't care that they're going to start it again or find a way to start it again. But what I know of, I'm going to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So shut it down. What y'all tinkering back there in the background?
That was me.
What you eating? Candy?
Pepper. Yeah.
Honey. Look, I'm sitting there thinking about some leftover catfish I got in there from Cracker Barrel. I don't need to eat nothing. But I'm coming up on hour 2:44. I'm going to end this live. But I thank you all for joining me.
Thank you.
Anytime. there's just so much going on. I can't keep up with all the stories because I got other stuff I want to bring to you about Ahmaud Arbery and Young Dolph. I just been relaxing this weekend, but next month, it's coming soon, will mark a whole year that the boys of Cal City have been missing. As most of you know, we're already in month 5 of Summer Wells missing. No suspects, no arrests. We still have other people, children missing. This is sad to me.
Yeah.
This is very sad to me because my thing is you don't know the hour that the Reaper is going to knock at your door. In no way should it ever be appropriate that a child will get gone by the Reaper. You know, it's somebody that knows them 9 times out of 10. It's very sickening to me. And it's very disturbing. And
I wanted to say before I go, I really enjoy your out and about lives. Those are so fun.
Thank you. The queen be out, don't she? Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, this last event I went to where I was at the press room, I really wasn't in a good mood at that because one, I didn't Google the place. I drove past the place from the interstate and I was pissed off because that was my fault. Then there was nowhere to park. You get in, you had to stand up. They had reserved tables. I didn't see the food. I didn't find out until yesterday, the day before. The food was in the back room. And I don't know if that was the room where I initially went and stood for a minute. It just seemed like to me, it's just a hocus pocus situation. I don't want to go anywhere and pay you my good money to stand up. Right. It doesn't matter if I wear flats, boots, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm a lady. I'm not going in anywhere to stand up. That's shit you do when you're young. You just stand up in a room.
Right.
And that's stuff that guys do because guys don't like sitting down. They like to stand up. They don't want to dance. That's a guy thing to stand up on a wall, stand up. But there's no reason for a lady to spend, her money to go stand up in heels and walk around all damn night for 5-6 hours. I'm not getting ready to do that. They had a few chairs on the wall, and I'd ask the people who I met there, hey, you want to sit over here? Try to sit over here. And they were like, no, we're looking for somebody. So then we ended up bumping into this lady we knew named Regina. She had a table reserved, her and a guy friend. They had a table already reserved, which was like a blessing. So I was like, man, I want to sit down. I didn't come in here to walk around. That's just not my cup of tea. To me, that's just stuff young people do. I'm not walking around no function. I don't care if it's a formal function, it's a juke joint. I don't care. I don't care if it's a bar. I don't care. I'm not standing up. That's just not me. And I really feel like I wasted my money. That's just me personally. I felt like it was a waste of money because it's like, what did I give $30 for? And do you know that even if you showed up at the door, it was $40 at the door.
Wow.
And guess what? They were towing cars. Towing your cars because the area we were in didn't have like really adequate parking. So they had like a vacant lot across the street next to a bank. And it was like, man, I am not trying to come out and see my car missing. You understand what I'm saying? And they said there were flatbeds out there with cars on them. And whoever threw the event paid the tow guy to take the cars off the rack.
Wow.
So that was a noble thing. But see, things like that, you don't want to go somewhere and then you don't even have anywhere to park your car.
Right.
Because you didn't get there as soon as the doors open to park your car. So you have to also think about things like that. Do I really want to spend my money to stand up, risk getting my car parked because I parked my car somewhere where it could get towed? See, that takes the fun out of going out. You had a good time and you come out, now your car's missing. I don't know. Yeah, underage days. But see, this was a formal event. This was a really nice place, a newer place that's built near downtown Knoxville. A really nice event. I mean, a nice hall that they had it in. But you only got so many tables set on the floor. And then they had that big space, which was the dance floor. So that took up, a lot of space where tables could have been and where people could sit. Then I think they had a VIP section to the right of the room when you first walked in to give your tickets. And I'm not going to pay you to sit for VIP. I'm not Oprah Winfrey. So you understand what I'm saying? Just so I can sit on some nice little faux leather chairs, whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to do for the holidays if I'm even going to go out, but I'm not paying any money and I can't sit down. I'm sorry.
The one I caught was the ones that has the checkered floor, and you knew everybody in there almost. Is that what you're talking about, or is that a different?
You mean last week?
I think so. Yeah, it has the checker floors, and that one guy kept bugging you.
Oh yeah, the juke joint, yeah, the lounge, yeah. I end up going there after press room, yeah, all in my live and shit. He pisses me off.
Yeah,
He called me. Let me tell you something. When I went into the Blues Lounge after the press room Friday night, he was in there and I know he was itching, wanting to say something so bad. But after I schooled his ass that last time, telling him, get away from me. You all didn't catch that because it wasn't on camera when I said that to him. That was probably last Saturday night. He was like, you ain't all that. I'm like, I must be all that. You keep saying to my damn face in my damn videos. What you mean? He's a bum. He's a bum.
Yeah. And
the girls I meet with, he's always touching her. She said something about that the other night. Friday night. She said, when I walked in, he touched me. And I was like, that's what I'm saying. So disrespectful.
And I was trying to ask you, but it was getting too much in there. Was he the one that wasn't like 15 minutes later? He was like literally rubbing up on some other girl. Was that the same guy?
Yeah, same guy. Same guy we're talking about.
Yep.
Same guy. Yeah. And you know, I thank God Friday night when I walked in there or early Saturday morning, he didn't say nothing to me because I don't have anything to say to him because I don't have any respect for him. You walk up to a complete stranger. Just think about what I'm saying. You walk up to a complete stranger you do not know and put your hand in front of their phone. You don't know who I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I could be talking to my mother, my father, my kids, anything. Why would you put your hand in front of my fucking phone?
Yeah.
And they got the nerve to say, oh, I like when you're talking to your phone. Dude, save those lame ass lies for some other weak bobblehead ass queen. Because I ain't interested. Nothing you're saying is of relevance to me. It's rude. You know, I'm just sitting here just in my right mind. I walk in Starbucks. Somebody's video chatting, and I just go put my hand in front of their phone and think I'm not going to get a negative reaction. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You just don't do that. Somebody in the chat says, sounds like a predator. Could be. Danielle, he could be.
He was weird. That's for sure.
Well, he hits on every woman in the club. I'm telling you, last week, he's all in my face, bothering me. Then he's bothering my friend. Then next thing you know, he's picked some old bobblehead. She's walking in behind him, holding his hand like he's, Jesus Christ superstar. I was looking like, man, chick, you must be from a whole other planet. Because you must ain't been watching this dude. He just latches on to anybody with a pulse. And men like that to me are disgusting. Because that just shows me you're not even picky about the women that you're flirting with. You're just saying, okay, she looks nice. Let me get in her face. She don't show me no attention. Okay, let me go over here to her friend. Okay, let me go over here to the girl next to her. See where I'm going? He doesn't even care. Well, yeah, it's disgusting behavior.
And then
How many viewers you got? How many viewers you got? Huh? Man, if you don't get your ugly tail on somewhere.
And then those girls end up going home with them that night and think they're in love, and they're like, "Oh, he cheated on me last week," because he didn't even watch him. He didn't pay any attention to him.
He couldn't take me nowhere. Honey, you couldn't even take me to Waffle House because I already know you're desperate. You'd be trying to get me, like you just said, try to go follow you somewhere. Hell no. I ain't trying to get up on Dateline fooling with no damn monster. No, thank you. Oh, she said, like my mom used to tell me, they'll put a paper bag over her head. Yeah, that's what they did in college. You weren't a pretty girl. They bagged you, as they called it, put a bag over your face. Elizabeth said she went out Saturday night, first time in 2 years, line dancing, party had a ball. That's nice. That sounds good. Well, like I said, everybody is not into, going out, dancing, drinking. Whatever you like to do is your business. But I just advise anybody to live your fullest life wherever it is you want to go, because there might be a day when you wake up, you're not going to feel so good. You may not be able to walk, may not be able to talk. you want to live your life to the fullest while you can.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm
Mhm.
just living my life. I love going out. I love mingling. I love dancing. I love being out, So I would like to try some new places. I thought about here lately, I thought I might go drive to Atlanta. I've got a
Mm.
friend that's in Atlanta. And we're pretty good social buddies. So I might visit him. It's a guy friend, I'm really good friends with his brother. So I'm thinking, you know what, I might take a trip to Atlanta. Just go down there and just chill, you know what I'm saying, for a day or two.
Mhm.
Keep my heels up. Honey, maybe stop by the Tyler Perry studio, put my bid in,
Hey.
honey, and do the Queen. Because I
That's
want to start going other places besides locally.
that's why I like it, because I used to go out a lot, and then now I'm at the point where I can't walk. But whenever
Really? What's
yeah,
wrong?
I had surgery on my ovaries. They removed them, and I
Mhm.
have a hernia.
Mm.
What it is, I can't walk. But that's like watching yours though. It's so fun because it's like I feel like I'm kind of out and about.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you have the surgery?
I had it in May.
I said, dang, that's a long time. That's 7 months ago.
Mm.
Yeah, my hernia is over 1.5 feet long right now.
Mm.
Dang, okay. Well, come on down, Danielle. You talking about you in the Midwest. Come on down to the dirty South, baby.
I'm still walking and stuff. I just can't get out like that anymore. But watching your lives, it's like I feel like I get to go out a little bit. So it's like
Okay.
this is
So
cool.
what's your prognosis on being able to get up and function?
I have to go see a general surgeon the 29th of December. Hopefully he can remove it.
A hernia.
It's about 1.5 feet wide right now.
Mm.
So the hernia came from where exactly?
When I had my surgery, when they removed my ovaries,
Uh-huh.
it's an incisional hernia that busted open, and my stuff's coming out of it.
Jesus,
Mm.
girl.
Mm.
Lord. Well, we'll be praying for you, honey.
Yep.
Look, Queen do it up for you till you.
She got you till you're ready.
I'm really wanting to go out of town. I'm really wanting to stop just going to places here, because that little place is just like a little dive bar. But I'm wanting to go out of town now. I don't want to keep going to places. To go into the juke joint here. I want to go to Atlanta or Chattanooga, Nashville. Just see something different. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
See something different.
I went to Nashville one time with my sister. She got married, and there was a bar there. When it was like 6 bars in one. Have you ever been to that?
No.
When you walk in, it's like reggae or something like that. The next one's like
Different places.
well, it's the same building, but each room is different.
Well, that's how it was at the press room. They played
Oh,
one set of music in the main room, and then we went in this little bitty area off the main room, and they had other hip hop playing in there.
Yeah. Then they had like a country room, and there was one room where some guy was just playing a piano. I mean, it was pretty neat.
Okay. Danielle, what you talking about, Florida? Well, I'm in Tennessee, baby. I'm in East Tennessee. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm in the Knoxville, Tennessee area. But I've been wanting to go to Chattanooga. I've been wanting to go to hang in Chattanooga. There's a place called Mary's I've heard people talk about. So I'd like to check out Mary's. And then, hell, one day I might just scoot on down to Atlanta. Yeah, I have to make sure my money's right when I travel, because I don't want to be nowhere stranded, or, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Atlanta's just like less than 3 hours and 30 minutes from me. But I'm thinking about, I like to ride down there. I really like to ride to Atlanta before the holidays. I would. Hey, you only live once.
Mhm. Yep.
Come see, come saw. Thank you all so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right. Michelle says she's in Tennessee. All right. Well, hello, darling. Ain't nothing like Tennessee, baby. For those of you that's tired of paying high dollar rent, come on down to the high 10, because there's people living down here. That's why people move here. They tired of paying. Look, they tired of paying that high dollar rent. Sick of the cold and sick of the rent. Hey, Hey, how bad can it be? Register your car tags for $28. Come on now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hello.
Wow.
Mine was $200.
That's what I'm saying. See, we don't pay in this area. We don't pay all that sticker on the car, sticker on the back, sticker, all that old stuff you pay up north. You gotta have a sticker in the front, a sticker over here. Hell no, you pay one sticker on the back of that metal tag. That is it.
Wow.
You're
Well,
ready. You're ready to rock and roll.
We don't have taxes on food and stuff.
Yes, yeah. Well, see, we do. We have taxes on food here.
Yeah, we don't have taxes.
Okay.
That's
I
just
hear you
Delaware.
upstate. Yeah, in Delaware. Yeah. But it's time for them to start cutting out stuff because people are really having it bad with
Yeah, I
prices
think
going up.
it's going to change. I really do.
Well, it's going to have to change because I mean, you think about people who have children. You think
Mhm.
about what it costs to buy soap, toilet paper, clothes, shoes, toiletries. Man, you got to have some money to live.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always amazed when I see people with a lot of children. I'm thinking, how do you make it?
I know.
Paying market rent, this and that. You're not getting no help from the government, nothing. Everything is straight out your pocket. So you got to have some damn good credit. So you can have a credit cards to live. And I don't recommend living off of credit cards because you got to pay them folks their money at some point.
Yep.
Okay, Michelle says we have to pay for tags and wheel tax. Yeah, I don't miss none of that. I ain't trying to pay for no extra stickers on cars and car windows. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Emissions test, they do that up in Illinois. You got to take your car every couple months to do the emissions test if you're driving a certain model car. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're not driving a newer car, you have to get an emissions test done on your car. Man, they make it hard for you to live, I'm telling you. Yes, Justice Janny, wages need increase if everything else is going to increase. See, that's the thing. That's the truth. Okay, Danielle says puppy huge. That's right, dog food, all that. But I'll tell anybody, this is the volunteer state. That's what Tennessee is called, the volunteer state. You come here, there are so many agencies to help you with whatever you need. I mean, I don't care what it is. We have a lot of help in this state. So there's no reason for anybody in the state of Tennessee to ever starve, go without food, clothes, toiletries. I'm telling you, man, it's the best state to live in the union. Because we are a helping state. And we offer immense help for anything. I don't care what it is. Whatever bills you got, you need food, clothes, toiletries. This is the helping state. And we have so many organizations, churches that help. So I advise that to anybody that's wanting to up and relocate somewhere where the weather is milder, cheaper living, come on down to the high 10, baby. You ain't got to suffer any longer. You ain't got to suffer any longer. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out. It's 3 hours now. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Okay.
My topic tonight was of the Laundries. Will they be arrested for aiding their son? Did they help him commit a crime? Did they have knowledge of the things he did? Kill Gabby Petito. What evidence do they have? The state, did they find a gun in the swamp? Will that gun lead to ballistics pertaining to the women, Schulte and Turner, out west? Those two women who were married and were murdered. My second topic was pertaining to Summer Wells. Jody Sue says she heard somebody scream that day on June 15th. What's the truth to that? I've debunked that theory because I said if indeed somebody screamed, wouldn't the parents have heard it? Candy. Wouldn't she have mentioned that in her first interview with WJHL? She heard somebody screaming. She heard a child screaming. Wouldn't you run outside to see who is screaming? And if indeed a child was out there screaming, then you would see the abductor taking your child. And the rest would be history. So I want to thank you all for joining me. God bless to all of you. Stay safe. If you want to donate to the channel, $Big Angie, 129 Cash App. I will be back on later this week with more commentary and updates to breaking news. You all have a safe week. Happy holidays to all of you. Please stay safe. Remember, do not leave your parcels on your seat while you're out shopping. Put all your parcels in your trunk. If you are buying big ticket items such as stereos, Bluetooth speakers, TVs, game systems, do not leave those boxes outside your garbage can. Put all those boxes in your trunk and discard them at a local dump, so that way people do not know the things that you have purchased, as so you do not get robbed or held up at gunpoint. I don't advise buying a lot of shopping items in the nighttime. Do all your shopping during the day and early evening if you can. Have some other people go with you to help carry your bags and parcels to your car. Don't park next to vans. And if you can, don't park far off, because there are people out lurking and looking for a victim to rob this holiday season. And if your trunk is filled with parcels, go home, unload those things, and then go back out to shop again. Thank you all so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Happy holidays.